to health and safety protocols. The Suns' DeAndre Ayton and Eric Gordon guided Team Bahamas to a win against Argentina in the pre-Olympic qualifying tournament. PA grabbed 21 boards while Gordon led the squad with 27 points. The D-backs enter tonight's opener with the Rangers, 3 over 500, and 1 game back from the NL Spire wild card spot. Joe Mansupply will be the man on the mound, and the Cardinals with an administrative addition to the franchise with a hiring of Jeremy Walls as COO. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Yeah! Text the nationwide keyword FESTIVAL to 200-200. You get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FESTIVAL to 200-200.
This is the Parker and Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Look for showers and thunderstorms before 3 p.m. Mostly cloudy with a high of 94 on this Monday. Breezy conditions in the afternoon. And then tonight, a 30% chance for rain before 9 p.m. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Anita Roman.
Report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smooth.
All right, we're coming back with a regular show open here in about 5 seconds.
Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-9.
You guys are hot.
1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Hope you're having a good Monday. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We got Jax as well. Connor back at the iHeartRadio studios as we're coming to you live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Home every Monday, as well as it will be our home for Monday Night Football coming up here in a few weeks as we are getting close, getting real close, as what you saw on Saturday night with the Arizona Cardinals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow, gave up 500 yards, a blowout, something I think we would have expected to see the week before. You know, with all the problems they had, all the injuries, or not injuries, the penalties and just mistakes they made. That's something I think you would have saw the first week, right? The first week, not the second week.
Yeah, I call that the hangover for being so jacked up and playing so well. All of a sudden it caught up to them. You know what? And you think of the depth or lack thereof for this Cardinals team after their first team. That's where this team is really struggling. To see their second teamers, just as you mentioned, Rock, have their way with them, score 21 points in that second half. So there's a lot of lack of depth. I think the first team, both sides of the ball, was competitive. Even though you're down. Well, I thought the first quarter was.
Wow, you gave it the benefit of the doubt. I thought the quarterback play was bad.
Yes.
We'll dive into that a little bit. But before we get too far into it, I do want to mention we are also streaming online, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you get an opportunity to check us out right now, just search Roc and Manuch. You'll see Manuch's new shirt that he's wearing with his collar up. And he really looks cool as he's got the collar up.
Yeah, so style once in a while.
Why is the collar up, Manuch? That is just
because
fashion statement.
His girl wasn't there when he got dressed.
Is that what it was? He had someone help him out?
Yeah. Hustled out of the house and see you, honey. By the way, I also said happy birthday to my mother-in-law, who turns 95 years old today.
Wow.
One Patricia Florence turns 95 years old
today. Oh, happy birthday. That's great. So she going to the club tonight? What we got planned for
Well,
her?
they don't open till 8, and she's usually down for to tell you the truth.
Open till 8. The club probably would think for 90 years old, club's open now at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, they probably shut down like at 7.
Yeah.
Blue plate
They get that early.
Roll up the streets.
Yeah, it's that happy hour. Along those lines with the Cardinals, we'll just dive right into our State 48 Roofing Get Your Call question today. Those guys are really busy. Talked to Jason Payne today in regards to how busy they are. They just launched a television campaign that you're seeing all over the place. But more importantly, they got rain. We got rain in the valley, and that's where roofs have issues. And if you're one of them, you got to check it out. Go to state48roofing.com. But here's our question today. Has Cardinals quarterback Clayton Tune showed you enough to be the backup to Colt McCoy for the start of the season? Yes, has poise, ability. No, needs to be more consistent. Those are two choices, yes or no. I don't even know if we have the choice to even answer this question. I mean, do they have to show us enough to be a backup? I think it's pretty safe to say he's going to be the backup no matter what, just because of who they have on the roster, unless you think David Blau deserves a better shot.
I think David
he only
Blau
gets in for garbage stuff.
Yeah, that's the issue, is that he comes in late in the game and then does pretty well, while it's difficult to really tell if Blau is that guy. But if you just looked at that game on Saturday night, you would say, oh, no, David Blau has got to be the backup. And I'm going to refer to
Can
Manuch
I jump in there real quick?
Yeah, do it.
Because he did get sacked twice.
Yes, I understand that, but that's the cause of the offensive line.
Okay.
I'm going to refer to Manuch on this, Mr. QB himself, because Manuch always says, I would rather have a guy who has been there, who has been in live action, understands what it's like being under center or out of the shotgun, and I'm not sure Clayton Tune is to that spot yet. Now, that doesn't mean he won't be in that spot by, say, game 4 or 5, but if I had to make the move and say that Colt McCoy rolls his ankle in game 1, I'm going with David Blau.
Yeah,
where are you, Coach?
I'm the same way. I feel that early on, especially in the season,
yes,
that David Blau's got the experience. Where he's a 6th year now. I always say, been there, done that. Knows how to get the guys in and out of the huddle. Knows what a defense he can read and react. Versus a young quarterback that basically will read it, think it, and then react. So that's
and by then it's too late.
And then by it's too late.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of easy overthrows. He was late on a few throws here and there, he looked very much more of a rookie this game than I thought last game. But I always err on the side of experience because, man, when the real live bullets start and you got to react, you got to see this or see that or understand like, oh, I've seen that. I recognize that. Versus, is that cover 0 or is that 3? You know what I mean? And that just that quickness of an indecision could create a sack.
Yep.
Could create a pick. Could create something that early in the season, hopefully Colt McCoy doesn't go down. Early in the season, if you're trying to get any traction with this redevelopment of a team, you don't want any kind of hesitation with an inexperienced quarterback that doesn't know what he's saying, what's going on.
So what is this coaching staff doing? Why wouldn't you have Blau in there for more reps instead of putting him in the last play of the game or last drive of the game?
Well, I think because he's had enough reps.
Okay, so
in their
they
eyes.
know what you got from
him.
They know what they have.
You know who he is. You know how what that those things happen. Blau he can rely on some things that come in there if it's only a quarter where Clayton Tune's got to play.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to understand what this team's doing here, get the timing, all that kind of stuff. So I think from Clayton too, it's great he gets the experience. He gets the reps. But I think Blau is the guy, in my opinion, is the guy you get ready to back up McCoy.
And I'm with you on that 100%.
I agree too, but I think when you're looking at style points, if there is such a thing, and it doesn't win games, when Clayton Tune's in there, it looks like the guys are actually they get a little bit up in their step, and you read a lot of stories after the game that when he's on the field, the offense looks like it's having more fun. Okay, I don't know if it's all about fun. The problem is there's also you getting some bad play there.
Yeah.
You just, some people were saying that, hey, with Clayton in there, it's somewhat watchable.
Sure, yeah.
With Colt's in there, it's
pretty
serviceable. It's plain. It's vanilla.
That's all it is.
He's earned that spot as a premier backup in the league for so many years.
But that's all well and good when it's preseason because you also look at how many times that Tune ran. 6 times for 35 yards. Mm-hmm. A lot of that's
scrambling.
Yes, he's scrambling, pressure, not seeing it, having to scramble versus a guy like David Blau that might step up in the pocket, buy some time, keep his eyes down the field, and find those guys, those receivers down the field. So, the pep and the step and all this and all that. Hey, it's about winning and it's about taking care of the ball, which I feel Blau will do a better job.
I agree with that too.
38-10, a blowout by the Chiefs. Of course, they're the best team in football. No question. I like the fact they had their guys in there for a long time.
They did.
That was cool.
Almost a half.
But the Cards now will close out their preseason this Saturday in Minnesota. They'll be practicing with the Vikings this week, and then regular season September 10th at Washington.
Good.
Well, when we get a chance to watch Washington tonight. And I want to see Howell at quarterback. I want to see how he does. And I'm assuming
I see how you did that.
Thank you.
Very good, Jamie.
That's you got
Very
that from
good.
Manuch. Did you steal that?
No,
That's chapter 12.
No, I hit it out of Manuch's
Looking
book.
forward to how he's going to do.
How he's going
Yeah,
to do.
I see.
Yes. So I'm glad you picked up on it, though.
Yeah, I'm
But-
listening.
Yeah, that was good. But the point that is going to be interesting tonight is that some of the Washington players have come out and said about Baltimore's won 23 in a row preseason games. They're not going to win tonight.
Yeah, have a motivation in a preseason game,
That's
man.
it. How about that?
We're going to stop the streak of Baltimore's preseason victories. Not going to happen in our house, doggone it. Yeah, but Hal, here he is in his second year. Obviously, you look, okay, did he win the job? How did he look last year? I think at this point, they're going with the young
He played
guy.
in one game last year.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it.
And fifth rounder as well from last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe there's some things going on. He's handling the huddle better. He understands the system better.
3 minutes.
But I look at again. You look at. I look at the experience sometimes of guys. Unless this new ownership said, "Look, go with your young guys. You got my blessing."
Yeah.
You know, Ron Rivera. We're not going to yank you after if you're 0-8 and you start 0-8, and especially if you lose the Arizona Cardinals first game of the year.
Uh-oh.
So you've got our blessing to go ahead and do what you think is best for this team. That's I think the dilemma. I call it a dilemma that the Commanders are in right now.
In a few minutes, we'll have our sounds of the weekend. You know, you'll hear the one touchdown for the Cardinals, and then you'll hear a couple blasts from Slam Diego, as they like to call it, from the nice doubleheader sweep on Saturday. As the D-backs tonight open up at home, they had a successful road trip. They got a 6-game homestand tonight, starting with the Rangers, 2 downtown. Then they'll go Reds for 4. And then you have the Dodgers and the Orioles.
Yeah.
So I hope that they're looking at this like
2
pre-playoffs, getting that playoff mode now. I think what we've seen from San Diego, I think Jimmy and I were both high on them.
Yep.
I think we can say here we are on the 21st of August. They're done.
Yep.
And now you can kind of look at this D-backs team who went 5-2 on this road trip last week, just sit 1 game behind the Cubs for that final National League wildcard spot. So I think it's pretty safe to say they're now in playoff mode. They need to be in playoff mode. With Cincinnati and Miami right there with Arizona. Mantiply will go tonight. The closer at one time.
Well, he's going to go an inning or two.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's going to be this game is going to be pitched by committee.
Well, exactly. And you also look at the last 2 Cincinnati Reds games. It's going to be by committee as well, too, unless they can. I don't know if they'll bring up a bona fide starter from Reno
I just
one way or
don't
the
know
other.
how you don't have a player.
Rock,
How can you go with the thought that there's 2 games this weekend against Cincinnati that you're going to have 2 bullpen pitchers starting?
Yeah.
Now, granted, there could be somebody in this bullpen that used to start for many years, and maybe I don't know who that is right now. Well, you're going to tell me there's not somebody you could at least take a flyer on that can come up and pitch 6 innings or 5 innings or 4? I mean, why not?
Well, I think that looking at that, they're going to I think the Jarvis kid, he pitched 3 2/3 innings the other day, came in and by committee. But Saccone's looking to schedule tonight. Gallon.
No, he's not. Mantiply's gone.
Mantiply's
gone.
Yeah, they changed it.
But you're right. I mean, you got Gallon, Fott, Kelly, and then after that, first to the second, the third game against Cincy. I'm like you, Rock. How do you not have everything set up? Into that situation that you have a starter. I don't know. Let me ask you, would you bring up a AAA starter?
Hell yeah.
I would. I would.
But then again, there are a lot of issues when it comes to the player's contract.
Right.
And what they can do and what they can't do when bringing some guys out with options and all that other crap. So I'm not sure. And hey, are they tight on money? Who knows? I mean, we're going to get into a story a little bit later about baseball attendance, but overall, which is up. So we'll dive into that a little bit later. But our top headlines are powered today by the Sportsbook and the CAZ Sports Bar. Your home for Major League Baseball, soccer, UFC, everything and anything. Plus, you can bet all the games right here on their 6 self-service betting kiosks. You can take advantage of the 3 betting windows, which are open every day from 8 to 11. We'll catch up with Casey a little bit later in the show, find out how he did this week, or how the book did this weekend. And they even have 8 screens dedicated to just the betting lines. It's an amazing place, the CAZ Sportsbook here in Casino, Arizona. Also, it's part of the CAZ Sports Bar, which has the Roc and Manuch Lager brewed by Huss. So you got to try that, one of Jimmy's favorite beers. Well, coming up, it's our Valley Chevy Dealers Sounds of the Night here. The one score for the Cardinals on Saturday, as well as a couple great plays and home runs from San Diego. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every
and then
game with
I'm coming back with the Chevy Plays of the Week, right?
Blue Weber agave in the Highlands.
All right, fantastic.
Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
We're your neighbors. You should stop by for a visit. We're Casino Arizona. Come on in. Our slots are spinning, our dealers are dealing, and everyone's yelling bingo. Isn't it about time you see your friends again? So stop by to say hello. Stay a while. Relax. Enjoy yourself. We'd love to see you again. Hey, this place was made to entertain. We're your Casino, Arizona.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys, live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lounge today.
Your industry is unique. It faces its own challenges and risks that set it apart. That means choosing just any insurance company just won't cut it. At The Hartford, we take pride in knowing the ins and outs of your industry and help provide solutions that suit how you do business, from liability and property insurance to workers' comp and more. At The Hartford, we don't just talk about specialization, we live it. Learn how The Hartford can help your business at thehartford.com.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Time for the Valley Chevy Dealers top plays of the week.
Dancing and looking and directing traffic, and look at the length of this play. Murray to the 10, to the 5, and he's going to convert it. That's unbelievable.
Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer. Set up a test drive by heading to valleychevy.com.
You guys are hot.
Today's top plays on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Valley Chevy wants to give you an opportunity to win a new 65-inch smart TV. We'll be giving it away next week. You can enter daily. All you got to do is text Chevy to 59925. That's Chevy to 59925. One lucky listener will win a brand new big screen TV courtesy of our friends from the Valley Chevy dealer. Standard message and data rates apply. Need more details? It's up on our website at Roc and Manuch. Again, a chance to win a big screen TV is now. Text Chevy to 59925. So let's get to our Sounds of the Weekend, which are, of course, brought to you by the Valley Chevy dealers. And from Saturday night, the Chiefs game, or Cardinals game, right? Or is it Chiefs game?
It was pretty much a Chiefs game.
There's a lot of Chiefs fans in there, fellas. A lot of Chiefs fans in there.
And here's the only lone touchdown run from Ingram, which was when the third quarter, I believe. I don't know exactly what time, but here's the only highlight we have to share right now.
The first half, and keep it on the ground here, and Ingram is into the end zone for the touchdown. They run the ball on 3rd and goal from the 6 and find Bader.
All right, let's move on.
That was it.
I mean, really,
that was it. You mean you're not going to play the field goal?
Shoot, no, couldn't even find it. It's. I think Cardinal fans. I know it's preseason.
Yeah.
But we got to be realistic. It's going to be a 2 or 3 win team.
Yeah.
It just is. They're not going to be a good football team. They're just not.
And the thing, it's very noticeable. The talent drops off after that first year.
In a hurry.
It really is. And you look at the talent or lack thereof.
There is a lot of talent on this team.
There is, but I mean, you look at the depth.
Yeah.
But you look at the replacement of the linebackers after that first unit on both sides. It's just going to be pretty much plug and play. And you got to hope these guys are ready to go in reference to being able to step up. And you got to hope that the injury bug doesn't hit this team as well too. And you talk about 2 or 3 wins. This team could go on a streak of losing 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row if the injury bug hits this team.
By the way, that touchdown was in the second quarter. It's a 5-yard run. So Ingram, they used him all over. He had 7 carries, 2 catches, and a kick return. He finished second on the team in rushing yards with 28, receiving yards 20, and then he had a 10 as a returner. It's going to be all James Conner, so he'll be the backup, most likely behind him. I just hope James is ready for this season.
He looks ready.
He's going to get the ball a lot. He's going to be a good fantasy player to have.
I was just going to talk about that. I really was, because we have our big fantasy draft coming up.
What is it?
It might be James Conner might be the guy that I might take.
No, but when's the fantasy draft we're having?
Oh, I don't know.
Saturday?
The coach.
Who's doing it on a Saturday?
Yeah.
I have no say in that. Who's going to be there on a Saturday?
Yeah, not me.
I'm not going to be there.
We can change it. We can change it.
Are you doing it at Take the Points? You doing
No,
it there?
no. It was just I picked a random date. You know, it's tough getting 10 people together and figure out the schedules. So I just figured
Isn't that
Saturday night.
How about Monday after the show?
You got to remember, it's all about what we want to do.
Exactly.
That's true.
It's all about Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B.
You're right.
Then you can throw Bauer in there and Gross, and everybody else is going to play, but
Jackson, you think
they're going to work around our schedule.
Isn't that some information you think we want
Saturday.
to know sooner or later?
So you have it scheduled for this Saturday.
Well, we can change it, obviously.
But were you going to send an email out, or were you going to smoke?
I thought there was a reminder that was sent once I changed the day. I thought it sent an email to you guys.
Just curious, when is it? You have it set right now.
Saturday at 7 p.m. That's what I'm free.
Well, I will be an automated draft for me. Then you can keep that Saturday if you want. It doesn't matter.
How about
Saturdays at 7 o'clock. There are a lot of things I would rather do than do a fantasy draft. But that's all right. Hey,
we can change it to Sunday. I don't care.
Sunday won't happen either. You know,
it
same
won't
mattress. You know, I just gotta stay in bed. So all right, let's finish with our sounds. We got some Diamondbacks. How about Tommy Pham continues to own San Diego? Of course, he was a player there for a long time. He has 7 home runs in his last 9 games. What a great road trip for the D-backs. Here's game 1 where he went yard as they went on to win this one.
And it's 5-3 Diamondbacks. What a series he's having back here in San Diego.
Tommy Pham has done it again against his old team, a 2-run home run. So for Pham, that's his 6th home run against the San Diego Padres since the beginning.
Sorry about that. So you missed the actual home run. For some reason, I got cut off, so that's my fault. But I'll tell you, the game came down to this play. It was bases loaded. It's bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. The Padres had Soto at the plate, and this is how this went down.
A walk, a hit batter, and another walk. They are loaded for Soto with 2 down.
Diamondbacks on top by 2.
Fly ball, deep left field. Gurriel up the wall, and he's got it! Everybody take a deep breath.
Just comes up short.
How about that?
Yeah.
You got your man on. But the way that they got bases loaded, you just heard. I mean, that was horrible.
Walk, hit batsman.
Is Sewell going to be this up and down guys? Be a little mystery when he comes in as a guy, as a closer. Like, oh my goodness, he had such a good game, and
he doesn't give you the confidence right now.
No,
at all.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're standing up, going, that one's gone. He just barely got underneath that one.
Game 2, there was a granny, and here is how that all went down.
Diamondbacks lead 4-1, and Moreno coming to bat. Fly ball, left field, Gabriel Moreno has hit a grand slam in San Diego. And the Diamondbacks are taking over. It's 8-1. Go, Gabby. Oh, that was a no-doubter.
That was the Happy Gilmore swing, and he got it.
Now leaving Slam Diego, but it's 8-1.
Slam Diego.
That's
They like
it.
that as MLB Network.
3
with
minutes.
that as Moreno homers grand slam. Alex Thomas scored there with Christian Walker and Tommy Pham.
The rookie coming through. How about that? Between he and Herrera. Now I think you can see probably why Kelly got let go. But I'm like, you let an experienced catcher go, so these guys hopefully can pick up the slack. And Marino,
They need to do it with this pitching staff going into these next 3-4 weeks. They better score runs. They need to score a lot.
Of the deals that they did, meaning the Diamondbacks at the trading deadline, would you say Tommy Pham so far has been the best guy that they made the deal on?
well, he's starting to come around
Because it wasn't Seawald yet.
No. Well, Seawald's struggled, but he's got 1-2 saves. But Pham is just now the last 2 weeks
Right.
starting to see that trade come to fruition and what he's doing. But yeah, I think Peterson, he plays once every 5 or 6
Yeah,
games.
utility player.
Yeah, utility guy. But yeah, Pham might be
2 minutes.
hot, especially against his old team like that.
Yes.
You know, you score 2 runs. You see this team. You now won 7 out of 9. They're outscoring their opponents 5-3 in those 9 games and 5-3 in those 7 wins. So again, you can get the 4.5-5 run average to help protect that lead. That's what you're going to need.
So there you have it. Our Valley Chevy Dealers Sounds of the Week. Or I should say the night. Again, text Chevy to 59925 to win the 65-inch smart TV that we'll give away next weekend. We are going to be giving away 5 more of those smart TVs with Twin Peaks as we've teamed up with them, Blue Moon and Coors Light, for our Thursday football promotion that we've been doing for years. Each year we try to come up with something new to give away. This year, in honor of their 5th location opening up, we felt, hey, let's give away 5 big screen TVs, 65-inch smart TVs, and we're going to be doing that. So you'll have many opportunities to text and win, or at least get in the pool to win those, because it'll be just a random number will be selected.
1 minute,
So the
1
more
minute.
you text our contest, the more chances you're going to get. You don't get spammed. You don't get like a text, a couple days later for a free car wash or something like that. You sign up for these text things and you get just bombarded, and it makes you hit stop. And we don't want you to do that. So I think you'll be pleased when you sign up to play in any of our contests. So that one's coming up. We'll have more on that one. We'll launch that next week. But coming up, we will have Rudy Carver on the program, as he always joins us on Mondays. We'll break down the Cardinals-Chiefs preseason game and get thoughts on the quarterback situation at Arizona State. So Rudy will join us next from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. This is Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The Cardinals make an administrative addition to the franchise with the hiring of Jeremy Walls as chief operating officer. The Mercury have now lost 3 straight after yesterday's setback to Indiana. Brittany Griner missed her 2nd straight game due to health and safety protocols. The Suns' DeAndre Ayton and Eric Gordon guided Team Bahamas to a win versus Argentina in the pre-Olympic qualifying tournament. DA grabbed 21 boards while Gordon led the squad with 27 points. D-backs reliever Joe Mantiply replaced Slade Ciccone as the starting pitcher of record in tonight's series opener with the Rangers. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B Thursdays at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. The guys broadcast live from 1 to 5 Valley locations. And tune in at 2:45 for Peaks Picks, your chance to win a Twin Peaks man card. It's Guys Live every Thursday at Twin Peaks.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
Hi, this is Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. We started in 1998 with our original store in Tempe. Fast forward to 2023 with 6 stores across the valley. We've had a lot of fun along the way, including our pizza eating challenge and our appearance on the show Breaking Bad. Thank you to our employees and customers for 25 fantastic years. We have never changed our core ingredients or recipes, and every pizza is made by hand. I'm a proud 1998 ASU alum.
Okay, yeah, I haven't gotten anything yet, so I'll let you know.
Learn more about our story at venezias.com.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
When we make your meal, this is where we start. Traditional old world recipes passed down through generations. But then we add some modern flair and spice up your Italian dining with contemporary flavor combinations. The result, the perfect fusion of new and old world traditions and a meal you'll never forget.
Inspired by the comfort and cuisine of a Brooklyn-style pizza parlor, Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar is located at the southeast corner of Loop 101 and Cave Creek Road in Phoenix.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
The Jedi fell a long time ago. Perhaps it is time to begin again.
The highly anticipated Star Wars series, Ahsoka, arrives Tuesday on Disney+.
Something dark is coming.
One must destroy.
All right, we got him.
In order to create.
The galaxy is not safe.
Don't miss the 2-episode premiere.
We have to prepare for the worst.
Hunt them down.
Let's get going.
Ahsoka, 2-episode premiere, streaming Tuesday, only on Disney+.
Are you shivering in the cold or sweating buckets in the heat? Say goodbye to discomfort with the AC Doctors same-day heating or cooling installation service.
AC Doctors, the only doctors who still make up from your indoor comfort.
Watch HVAC system. Can you make it happen?
Absolutely. Our skilled technicians will make you feel just right before you can say perfect temperature.
Don't suffer any longer. Trust family-run AC Doctors with over 20 years of experience for prompt and efficient same-day installation. For year-round comfort, call the AC Doctors, 602-767-7435, or visit theacdoctors.com to make your perfect temperature our priority.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time, steps up, looks end zone, got a man, McGahey, touchdown! And Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter.
You guys are hot.
On Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
A lot of talk on the quarterback situation with the Arizona Cardinals. Colt McCoy right now, the backup. But who's the backup to Colt McCoy? Is it Clayton Tune? Is it David Blau? Jeff Driscoll, we never got to see. We haven't seen. He's been held out with an injury. Joining us now is former NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter. As you just heard the big voiceover guy, and he joins us now on the right to the guest side. How you doing today, Rudy? What's happening? What's going on, Rudy?
All right, so we're not hearing him.
He's probably there.
Yeah.
You want to pretend you're Rudy
Want me
Carpenter?
to do, hey, guys, how are you?
Yeah. Living the dream, right?
Hey, I'm just having fun here.
Connor, can you talk to us down the line? Let us know what's going on
he's on now. He's on now.
Okay.
We got you, Rudy. There you go. Sorry about that. How you doing, bud?
There he is.
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, man. Sorry about that. So we're connected now. Hey, we were talking about the quarterback situation for the Arizona Cardinals and, watching some of these guys and Clayton Tune, who, he hit half of his passes he connected on, and he was running quite a bit. But then, we saw Colt McCoy, we saw David Blau just for a little bit. But when you look at these two quarterbacks, specifically David Blau and Clayton Tune, where would you give the edge if you needed a backup to Colt McCoy?
Oh man, I don't know. It's really hard to say. I mean, it's even harder for someone like me to give an opinion on this because I know how the business side of this works and I know how the politics side of this works. And those are all things that matter. Clayton Tune is a draft pick of this new general manager and this new head coach. He's a young guy. He's making less money. He hasn't been in the league as long as David Blau. And all of those things matter. Now, if you're probably talking about, who gives me the absolute best chance to win, if Colt McCoy does in fact start the season and he gets hurt, I would say probably David Blau might give you a little bit better chance to win. But I mean, ultimately, without sounding like a negative Nancy here, I don't think it matters. This team's not going to win football games even when they have Kyler Murray on the field. So it's really just about, do you want to try to put these reps that I would call an investment in the money side, that investment as well, into a guy that you drafted because you feel like at some point down the line was the organization? I would, adding all of those things up would probably go with Clayton Tune.
And all that being said, Rudy, I hear what you're saying, but not in that locker room, it's going to be hard enough for these guys to win. And I know they're in a rebuilding mode, but if you have, in my opinion, the experienced guy in there that's been there, done that, seen it, as hard as it's going to be to win if Colt goes down, you got to make sure if you're that ownership to understand that this as hard as it's going to be to win the games, you got to have a guy that can at least get you in and out of the huddle and get the plays off. I would think that's why I side with David Blau.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you on that, and I think that's all true. But I mean, I would tell you this: without being at practice and without watching the all 22 tape on a daily basis, it seems to me like Clayton's operating decent. It seems to me like he's able to get you in and out of the huddle. It seems to me like he's able to make all of the throws that you need, and even has a little bit of athleticism to him to make a play. I think, there's no doubt that David Blau has been there, done that. He started games, I believe, before, or at least played significant minutes. So I think all of that stuff matters. There's also no doubt that in professional football, you want to try to win, and even if you're probably not gonna, you got to still put your best team out there to at least appease those guys in the locker room and make them feel like you're doing everything that you can to win, because those guys' career and their future, is on the line too. Look, I guess this is a really bad answer, Dan, but again, what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I just don't think it matters. I think it's 1/2 dozen to the other. David Blau, Clayton Tune. I would even put Colt McCoy in that group. Does it really matter? I think all of those guys, as far as NFL standards go, they're probably all just average guys.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Toyota guest line, the right Toyota guest line. I'm real curious, Rudy. I know it's very vanilla through the course of preseason, and nobody really game plans for anything. But can you surmise what you have seen out of this Arizona Cardinal team, at least in the first 2 preseason games, that would give you hope that they could win 5 or 6 games this season? Or is there no hope?
Well, you never want to say there's no hope, because in the game of football, that ball is shaped funky and it bounces all kinds of crazy ways.
Yep.
And as you guys know, it's the NFL, and anything can happen. You can get a crazy bounce here or there, and all of a sudden, a couple of games look totally different. But to me, when you look at this Arizona roster and you compare it to other rosters in the NFL, to me, what you see is they just don't have an abundance of explosive talent. You don't see the explosiveness on the field. You don't see the speed and the agility. You don't see that on the field in which you see with other teams. You can see the commitment that the Kansas City Chiefs have made to finding explosive talent, even when they got rid of a guy like Tyreek Hill, right? The Rice kid, I think he came from either SMU or Houston, explosive. Pacheco is explosive. Travis Kelce in his own right is explosive. I mean, they have explosive talent. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they have explosive talent. You look at even the Cincinnati Bengals with their wide receiver core, Jamar Chase and Higgins, and even Mixon in his own way. They have explosive talent. The Arizona Cardinals just don't have that. And I think even the explosive, talented guys that they do have and or they drafted, whether it's their fault or not, have just been a total waste. Guys like Isaiah Simmons, right? He's bounced all over the place. To me, he was horrible in this last game, and I don't want to blame it all on him because they've done him a total disservice, in bouncing around and playing him out of position. And look, I don't want to, say negative things about Steve Keim. I think he did a lot of great things when he was here with the Arizona Cardinals. You see him over the last few weeks moving around, going and visiting guys like, Reddick at the Eagles, training camp. And it's like, yeah, great. He's a former first-round pick who's doing well for the Eagles, I guess. But even when you guys had him here in Arizona, you had him bouncing around and playing all out of position as well. So to me, unfortunately, the NFL, the talent matters, and the explosiveness and the speed and the height and the weight and the length of guys and how fast they are, all of that stuff
3
matters,
minutes.
but they have to be able to play fast, and guys usually play fast when they know what they're doing and they're dialed into their position and they know exactly what they're doing mentally on every play. That way they're in a position where they can just read and react, see ball, get ball. And right now, I just think on the defensive side of the ball, the Arizona Cardinals don't have that. And obviously in Kyler Murray, they do. But outside of Kyler Murray on the offensive side, I can't really name a guy that you can point to and just say, wow, he's a really, really, really explosive talent. I mean, I think the guy that scored their only touchdown this week was Greg Dortcher, and I think he was he an undrafted free agent for them? So, right. He came out a few years ago. So, to me, this is a talent problem for the most part with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, Rudy, I second the motion on Isaiah Simmons that I mentioned earlier about the lack of depth was noticeable with this Cardinals team when you watch the depth of the Chiefs. So here they go, Saturday night, the final preseason game against the Vikings. You got 2 weeks after that. Strategically wise, as far as evaluating, getting guys in and out of the huddle and playing and all the above, how would you go about this last preseason game against the Vikings on Saturday night, knowing you got 2 weeks before the real ammo starts to fire?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, for every organization, not just the Cardinals, you want to make sure you get out of this last preseason game super healthy. You obviously don't want any of your starters to get hurt, probably not even going to play. And then you don't want your important depth guys to get nicked up or to get hurt at all. So that's the most important thing, is to get out of that game, super healthy with no
1 minute, 1 minute
injuries. I think that, the bottom part of this roster, let's just call it, spots 45 to 53. I would even maybe go more than that, which might sound crazy to most people, and say roster spots 40 to 53 and probably all the practice squad guys too. I think as the course of the season moves along, you're probably going to see a lot of those roster spots turn over. Some guys make the active roster initially, end up on practice squad later in the season. Some guys on practice squad get bumped up to the active roster some point during the season. And then I think probably the most important part, for the Arizona Cardinals coming up over the next 2 weeks is going to be what they do on the waiver wire. I would imagine that their scouting department, their pro scouting department, and their GM, Monty Ossenfort, I guarantee you they have a plan in place. They got a bunch of guys circled that they'll be watching play games, guys who they feel are on other teams who may get cut, that they believe they can put in a waiver claim on and hopefully get and acquire some talent, on final cut down date. So to me, I think that's probably the most significant thing that's going to happen, or, the most newsworthy things that are going to happen over the next 2 weeks is number one, obviously, who the Arizona Cardinals cut, Number two, who they can get back on practice squad. And really probably the most important thing is what happens around the rest of the league. What kind of guys get cut? What kind of veteran players get cut that they can bring in here on a waiver claim? They can pay the veteran minimum to, and guys that can, contribute at a high level. One example I would give that, might not make any sense. This is not a shameless plug for my own business, but my agency represents a guy named Chris Lamons. Unfortunately for Chris Lamons, the thing that he's known best for right now is getting into a fight with Alvin Kamara in Las Vegas. But he's a guy that's been a starter for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's been a starter on some very, very good football teams, played in some Super Bowls. Last year he got cut right after the AFC Championship game. But he's a guy that, because of the trouble he got into, signed late with the Indianapolis Colts in training camp because of their situation. They may or may not be able to keep him, but that's a guy who's been a starter as a corner in the NFL. He's been a very good contributor on special teams in the NFL. He's a number 2, number 3 corner who can go in the slot and cover your best slot receiver on any football team in America. I would imagine the Arizona Cardinals are going to be looking for a lot of guys like that, guys that they don't have to make long-term commitments to, guys that can come in and play and contribute right away, both on special teams, and on the offensive or defensive side of the ball, and guys who, for NFL standards, are relatively cheap. You don't have to pay them, $3, $4, $5 million a year. You can pay them the rookie minimum and call it, 1.2, 1.3 million bucks.
Rudy, great stuff, man. That's interesting. We appreciate your time today. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Rudy. Appreciate that. It's Rudy Carpenter joining us. Nice plug for one of his guys. I mean, it sounds like no-brainer. Yeah. It's no-brainer.
It's an interesting story.
Absolutely.
Well.
We'll talk about it after this break.
I'm good with that.
This
I know we were like
Clear? With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
The Packers are saying they are
So iHeartRadio? I went, no, I said we're hardly ever down. We don't know.
Tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Sun Devil football season is here, and we need you in Mountain America Stadium wearing gold and cheering on head coach Kenny Dillingham and your Sun Devils to victory. Join Sun Devil Nation this fall with season tickets starting at just $135. The home schedule features games against Oklahoma State and Fresno State, as well as Pac-12 matchups with USC, Colorado, Oregon, and Arizona. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Football is here, and Roc and Manuch are hosting the Watch Win Wager Kickoff Party in the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino Arizona, Thursday, September 7th. Cash prizes all game, plus a chance to take home a 75-inch smart TV. It's the Watch Win Wager Kickoff Party, Thursday, September 7th at Casino Arizona.
Calling all putting enthusiasts. It's time to seize the spotlight on the grand stage of the World Putting Tour. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a passionate amateur, everyone is invited to showcase their skills and compete for the prestigious title this September 2nd and 3rd. And guess what? The winner takes home an incredible $10,000 cash prize. Your chance to shine is here, so don't hold back. Join the excitement, embrace the challenge, and show the world what you've got. Register now at puttingworld.com and be part of the World Putting Tour.
See your Valley Chevy dealers today during the Chevy Summer Drive going on now. New inventory arriving daily. See your Valley Chevy dealers today.
Football on Monday nights continue this season live from the Sportsbook in CAZ Sports Bar at Casino Arizona with Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and the rest of the Fox Sports 910 team. Win your share of the cash prizes through our Progressive Kickoff Jackpot Contest, Quarters Squares, Football Bingo, and Propositions Contests. It's year 23. Doors open at 3. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's Monday Night Tailgate Party at Casino Arizona.
Duke's Sports Grill on Miller and McDowell.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Don't just drink at Duke's, play at Duke's.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Pool, shuffleboard, darts, karaoke, and trivia nights.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Named one of the New Times best bars in town.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Daily food special.
All right, so we're coming back in about 30 seconds with the regular CAZ rejoin.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the potty, this is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The crib is always stocked.
Gotcha. Yeah, there might be an issue with our phones at the moment, but I have no clue.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more.
You got it.
So you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ
You guys are hot.
in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Well, on this day in 2007, this particular rookie Diamondback player had something in common with Dan Manucci. Struck out for the 9th straight plate appearance. Tying a major league record for position players.
Never struck out that
much.
much.
Yes, you did. Major community.
Never.
Come on.
I was a contact guy. Contact, line drive power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every once in a while I take one deep.
And I also played in the NFL.
Go yard.
And I'm also 6'5".
Especially at over Diablo. I take one deep out of Diablo once in a while. Take it out of there.
So Mark Reynolds on this day struck out 9 straight times, but it put him in a pretty good category. I mean, of other guys. Bo Jackson, Richie Jackson, Eric Davis, some pretty big studs. Yeah. So it wasn't all that bad. And during the streak, he became the batter who enabled John Smoltz to become the Atlanta Braves career strikeout leader. That's a good trivia question.
That he could contribute.
Mark Reynolds is the answer to that one.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of baseball, interesting, sad at the same time story that's floating around at South Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Coach with Cuba's first ever Little League World Series team has gone missing. Now, in a statement from the Little League officials, they said Jose Perez left where the team stayed late Saturday and did not return. Little League went on to say that it was that they contacted all the appropriate authorities, but didn't say if Perez's disappearance is being considered a defection.
Well, if
so
somebody
Cuba was knocked out on Sunday,
knocks at your door, let them in.
So Cuba was knocked out of the Little League World Series on Sunday as they lost to Panama 3-2.
Sounds like a classic defection, if you ask.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
he
not
had
going back.
that plan for years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got a
Especially
chance
with them
to
losing,
escape.
he probably doesn't want to go back either.
Major League Baseball is on pace to see its biggest jump in attendance since the league expanded 25 years ago. Forbes is reporting that it's up 9% this season through August 14th. That's the largest increase since it went up more than 11% when the league added the Diamondbacks and the Rays, which was in 1998. Forbes says that the league is projecting to see a total
3 minutes.
of 70.5 million fans. That's the highest in 2017.
Do you attribute that to the pitch clock and the hit clock?
I think it's that, and then a lot of the teams did lower their prices.
Yes.
So I think that had a lot to do with it.
Okay.
So that you got to give credit to that. That helps that jump. But yeah, I'm sure the new rules. I can't remember. I was telling somebody over the weekend. I was talking about the new rules, and they had no idea. And I said, yeah, games are 2.5. They're like, what?
Yeah.
You know, somebody that doesn't really follow it will say, okay, wow.
And then they also said that in one of those reports that the viewership from the streaming and that the demographic is surprisingly the 12 to 25 from the streaming and all the above. The viewership is up as well too.
Yeah.
And they were surprised because we always think that the 45 to 85 crowd is that basic viewer per se.
I think it was.
But they looked at, they went, wow, these kids are in tuned most with their streaming as far as following baseball. And they were surprised at numbers.
2
went all the way
minutes.
back into the 8, 9, 10-year-old all the way up to the 25-year-old for Major League Baseball. So that's a good sign.
A little later, I want to get into into some of the quarterbacks, Jimmy Garoppolo, and some of the new quarterbacks that are on new teams that are having success. But there's a pretty cool story that's unfolding in Chicago as there is the possibility of a quarterback that could be the backup to Justin Fields. It could be the starter if something would happen to Justin Fields. Tyson Bagnet went 9 for 10, 76 yards in their loss to the Colts. What's interesting about him is he was a 4-year starter. And if you guys could tell me where this is, I know where it is, but if you guys do, I'll buy you lunch. Okay. Shepherd University. What state is Shepherd University? Division II. He's a Division II quarterback.
Yeah.
I'll say Texas.
Nope.
No, I'll say Ohio.
Close.
New Jersey.
West Virginia.
Oh, 1 minute.
Shepherd
1 minute.
University.
Yeah, talking
How
about
that?
Young man.
He won the D2 Harlan Hill Trophy, which is equivalent to the Heisman at D2.
Yeah. Yep. This goes to show if you got talent, they'll find you.
Yep.
And you can play at that next level. I tell guys all the time, just keep throwing. You just never know.
Jim Harbaugh informed his team that the program has self-imposed a 3-game suspension to start the 2023 season. We'll get into that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from the CAZ book in Casino, Arizona. This is Fox Sports 910.
Clear?
Football on Monday nights continue this season live from the Sportsbook in CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona with Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and the rest of the Fox Sports 910 team. Win your share of the cash prizes through our Progressive Kickoff Jackpot Contest, Quarter Squares, Football Bingo, and Propositions Contests. It's year 23. Doors open at 3. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's Monday Night Tailgate Party at Casino, Arizona.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night fights.
NFL is back, and your free iHeartRadio app is your home for the NFL Podcast Network with full coverage of all 32 NFL teams. Get in-depth analysis from the pros on around the NFL. Win bragging rights in this year's draft with tips from the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and more. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa"?
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
By government.com. Have you heard? Morgan's silver dollars are back for 2023. For the 100th anniversary, the U.S. Mint released the first legal tender Morgans in 100 years. They sold out instantly. Now, Morgan's silver dollars are back in 2023, minted in 99.9% pure silver, but only 275,000 coins were minted, and they will go fast. The entire market and experts agree this is a big deal and an amazing opportunity for both coin and silver buyers. Just call 1-800-721-0383 and you are guaranteed a 2023 brand new uncirculated 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. But with limited quantities, you must call now. To learn more, call 1-800-721-0383. Plus, you'll receive a free bonus Patriots pack, new and improved, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-721-0383 now to secure your new 2023 Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-721-0383.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Tomorrow from 10 to 1. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Backs reliever Joe Mantiply replaced Slade Ciccone as the starting pitcher of record for tonight's series opener with the Rangers. The Cardinals made an administrative addition to the franchise with the hiring of Jeremy Walls as COO. Preseason play wraps up Saturday against the Vikings. The Mercury have now lost 3. Gliner missed her yesterday due to safety protocols. Meanwhile, the Suns' DeAndre Ayton and Eric Gordon guided Team Bahamas to a win against Argentina in the pre-Olympic qualifying tournament. The grabbed 21 boards while Gordon led the squad with 27 points. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Look for showers and thunderstorms before 3 p.m. Mostly cloudy with a high of 94 on this Monday. Breezy conditions in the afternoon. And then tonight, a 30% chance for rain before 9 p.m. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Anita Roman.
All right, here in about 15, we're coming back to CAZ Top Stories.
Autumn hiring with Indeed. Their all-in-one solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys,
you guys are hot.
What's your top story this hour?
Talking some Cardinal football, as well as some Diamondbacks. We'll get into it pretty deep with the Cardinals here in segment 2 of this hour, which will be right before we catch up with Craig Fouie from ABC 15, and we'll also catch up with Casey Walsh from the CAZ Sportsbook. That's where we are today. We're here every Monday, and then during the football season, we're here Monday nights as well for the Monday night tailgate. We've stepped it up this year, giving away the cash just for watching football. As if you're not familiar with how it works, you're new to the Valley, you haven't been one of our promotions. We've been doing this for this will be year number 23 of hosting Monday Night Football, so we've been doing it a long time. I think we got it down. I think this year we'll probably have it really down. But lots of ways to win money. We do a progressive jackpot. We do squares. We do props. We do football bingo. We do a lot of different things, drink specials, food specials, and a great place to watch the games and hang out with myself, Manuch, Jimmy B, Jax, and the rest of the Fox Sports team. So September 11th will be the first game. First game. 2 games, actually. There's 3 weeks that we have 2 games. So we'll have double the cash. So we'll have some fun with that. So you'll hear more, and you'll start hearing us talk about it quite a bit. But right now we are at the CAZ Sports Book, which is in the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. A lot to say there. 6 self-service betting kiosks, 3 betting windows. They got 8 screens dedicated just to the betting lines. It's all here. And the Roc and Manuch Lager brewed by Huss. But
and it's good.
And it's good, yeah. We got... stamp of approval by Jimmy B.
That ringing endorsement.
That's it.
Hey, the more endorsers we have, the better. I mean, no question. As we embark in our top story, and I think it's got to be the D-backs right now, as they swept Padres on Friday and Saturday. Of course, they didn't play yesterday because of Hurricane Hillary. They had a doubleheader, took care of that doubleheader. Now it's going to get interesting for this team. You have a 2-game set with the Rangers, 4-game set with the Reds. Then you have the Dodgers and the Orioles. That's your next 2 weeks. And with, 3 starters? Really, how many starters are there?
Technically, yes.
3.
Yeah. Technically, there's 3.
And is Ciccone a starter or not? I mean,
he's only played 3 games.
Yeah. Right.
So let's say no.
I've got Fott.
Mantiply's going today.
Okay.
For an inning or 2, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's how they'll
by
do it.
committee tonight is what it's supposed to be. You got Fott, the rookie, Kelly, and Gallen. 4 now. There's your 3 in that rotation. And then you got, it seems like by committee for 2 games or back to back.
Yeah, you're hearing later in the week that could be the case.
The 3rd game right now.
Not very practical, is it?
No, out of the 4 Cincinnati games, the 3rd game for now is another by committee.
Do you think this Diamondback brass has got huge pits in their stomach because they're in this situation? Or you think, hey, we got this covered. We know what we're doing. Let's not hear the noise like us saying that's not practical. we haven't been at that level of those guys. I got the AAA, as a front office guy, but I had no say in who's going to be pitching. But I know baseball enough to know, hey, you got to have at least a fourth or fifth starter.
Well, and I've never seen this before. I don't know. You have, Rock.
No,
I've never seen.
You only see it when there's an injury.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or you might see a guy come in if a guy's getting blown up for 10 runs in the first 2 innings. You go get that innings eater, the old Josh Coleman guy.
Josh Coleman was the guy.
Bring him in.
Dan Carlson, the pitching coach, he was the same thing when he played in the big league.
And if they get to 15 or 18 runs, you pull in one of the position players to pitch BP to end the game.
Well,
I've never, the Mark Graces of the world and some of those guys.
But those guys came in when there's a blowout.
That's what I'm saying. If it's a blowout,
only when it's a blowout.
But you're not going to use any arms up if you're a blowout. But I've never seen this kind of scenario where you got 3 for sure. You got to hope that fought and none of those guys gets hurt. And then I don't know why you wouldn't bring a starter up from AAA, maybe as the 4th or 5th guy for now, unless you feel that, you look at Jarvis. They brought this kid up. I mean, he's young. I mean, maybe they he had 3 2/3 innings the other day.
Yep.
Maybe they kind of work him into the fold as eventually being
into
a
the
starter.
committee rotation.
Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of wean the guy into it because if they've been so used to just getting bullpen reps and not going more than 2-3 innings, maybe that's why they threw him 3 2/3 the other night. Maybe they want to look at him at longevity from that standpoint.
There's been a lot of talk over the years that this Diamondbacks farm system is one of the tops. I'm just surprised there's not somebody in AAA or AA or multiple players, even high A or single A, that I'm sure they're molding. But is it too early? Are they waiting for September?
That's what
I mean. It's got to be that, right? They're just waiting for September call-ups, and then that's when the
out of the wild card.
Out of the wild card, and you mentioned with the schedule, Texas and Cincinnati, and then the Orioles and the Dodgers, and then on and on. The next 5 weeks, guys, it is going to be hell week for them each and every time, especially when the Orioles come in and Texas is one of the top teams in Major League Baseball. Do you go in there with your utility staff, or and with that? But fortunately, tonight it's going to be one of those litmus tests. Well, we got to rest the arms. Why not bring an arm up from AAA? That that can go into can go maybe 85, 90, 95 pitches.
Go back to when they did this before. If memory serves me correctly, didn't they win that game that they used about 4 different pitchers? I believe they won that game by committee.
I think it may have been maybe the first game for San Diego. Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah, surprisingly.
So maybe they believe that if they're going to save the 3 starters' arms that they have, that this is going to work again for them. I'm trying to get inside the clubhouse and try to figure out what their thought process is.
Or that scouting report better be damn good no matter who's
there. You go.
Who's pitching, man. You lose 9 in a row. They now won 7 out of the last 9.
Right.
The bats have gotten hot. They've averaged 5 runs over those last 9 games.
Yep.
Only giving up 3. And basically with those wins in a row, you stop and think about it, they've outscored the opponent 5-3 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got that luxury, but all of a sudden the bats go still or silent.
But they haven't yet.
Can you adhere to a group by committee? This is going to be interesting to see how Troy Lovello handles this with this moving forward.
Yeah, and you can easily just go to the Reno Aces, which is a AAA team for the Diamondbacks, and just look at some of the guys. You look at some of these pitchers, and I know a lot of it has to do with contracts and things like that. But when you look at the Walton, who's one of their pitchers, he's 9-6, 4.49 ERA. He has started 24 games this year. Last year, he split time between A and Double A, and he started 25 games. You look at that and you say, okay, just as a regular fan, you're like, oh, well, why don't you bring him up?
Sure.
But I'm sure, and he's a lefty. They don't have a lot of lefties, and get him up there. But I'm sure it has to do with contracts.
I'm with you.
It has to.
And maybe the success they've had
How many
with
options
the
they have.
bullpen the last, out of those 7 out of wins, the bullpen they had. I mean, that game obviously got a little interesting at the very end, that first game on Saturday with Sewell. But they only gave up technically 1 run when you looked at that. So maybe they feel their bullpen has got the stamina, got the consistency they want to see, and then not tire all the arms out. Technically, you never see this because you want to save those arms. But right now, for where this team is at, only 1 game back of the wild card with the competition they have coming up, I'm surprised, guys. I really am.
I just see them taking a chance. They're taking a chance, And it worked for them the one time they did it. So I think they're going to go back to that same opportunity and see if it'll work 2 times for them.
I think was it Ginkel or McGuff that started the first 2 innings is the one you're talking about.
McGuff did,
yeah.
yes.
And then they turned it over by committee.
Right.
But again, it's going to be very tough sledding for this Diamondback team. They can continue to hit. Now they're 3 games above 500 finally, after being 5 games down to 500.
That's
to get back in the hunt.
That's your local story, that being the Diamondbacks against Rangers tonight on UView and MLB. Jim Harbaugh informed his team today before practice that the program has self-imposed a 3-game suspension on him, and it will start against East Carolina on September 2nd, followed by UNLV the 9th, and then Bowling Green the 16th. He will return for Big Ten schedule, which I don't know if you can consider Rutgers part of Big Ten, but it'll be
better
Rutgers.
than people think.
And we'll see. As this team is got that little black cloud over them, and I think a lot of us, even if you like Michigan or not, feel this is his last year anyway, because it may get a little ugly. The noise may get too loud, and he'll go to the NFL.
This is so odd. It was initially a 4-game suspension.
Yep.
Then they said, we'll time out. The NCAA said, we'll time out. We'll look at some other stuff. So they put that on hold. So they suspended the suspension.
Yeah, they did.
Now they come back and self-impose.
Yeah,
3 games.
I wonder why that 4-game deal got suspended in July. And how did it just fall apart in the final hours?
Well, and it seemed as though the NCAA wanted to say, well, okay, let's take another look at this and make sure that it's kosher what we're doing here. And then they got put on a timeout, and then now self-imposed, because I thought the initial coming from the NCAA, now for them to say, okay, well, let's have you take a look at your own house, and they come back with a 3-game. I mean, we were talking about earlier, why don't you're going to have
3 minutes,
easy schedule up front. Why don't you have some meaning to that matter?
Do you guys think if this was not Michigan ranked right now, preseason number 2, number 3, whatever, depending on who you're looking at, if it was not Michigan, that if this was Toledo,
right,
would he get the 4 games?
Yeah, the harsher penalty. I just understand why the NCAA gave him the suspension. They called it off. So they wanted to allow Michigan to self-impose for just 3 games. This thing makes absolutely no sense.
That's
why I think it's a Harbaugh factor. I mean, you take a Michigan team. They've only had 3 losses in the last couple of years.
Right.
They beat Ohio State twice.
Right.
Yeah. They got 2 Big Ten championships, and they made the college playoff twice. So they're good for football. They're real good for football.
Either that,
despite
I get that.
The fans who don't like them, like myself.
No, I know, but I think that maybe they also felt, well, this may be his first penalty ever. So the mercy of the court said, well, look, we looked at some of the things.
2 minutes.
Wasn't there some recruiting issues with him many years ago when he was going all over the place?
He was at Stanford.
No, but even at Michigan when he first started. Remember, he was
yes, there were
going to different
states,
and there were some rules on how he was recruiting.
Well, he was down in Florida at a big workout, and you weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
LSU called him out.
Yes, they did.
But also, Rock, you're talking about the time he was in town recruiting one of the Brophy kids here, spent the night at the house with the Brophy kid, not supposed to do that. And, Harbaugh, no big deal. I'm going to go here, go there. So there's been several scenarios, but I remember that when they were at the practice and LSU called him out.
Yeah, so I think he doesn't have a clean slate.
He's got a little shadiness, that background. Yeah, it's hey, we're recruiting, right? Guys are doing whatever they can do to recruit. I've seen him a couple times out here during the high school games. He's on the sidelines, talking to guys. He'll be off in the end zone and happen to just kind of walk by some guys and just kind of look at him. Didn't say anything, but just his presence. And a lot of guys are in the end zones.
Oh, every kid knows that Jim Harbaugh's on the sideline.
Oh, absolutely. Now, whether it's
like that buzz gets around pretty quick, I'm sure, on a Friday night at a school.
So,
by the way, let me ask you, what was the temperature Friday night for football?
It cooled off to a cool 100 degrees at kickoff on Friday night.
No issues? Please say there were no issues with the kids?
No.
Okay, good.
Very muggy, but there was no issues. They started, the cramp monster came alive in the end of the third quarter.
Really?
Fourth quarter. Yeah, a lot of cramping because in 2A and 3A football, those kids go both ways. So 3A, just about all 11 starters go both ways. Kind of the last bastion of
Do they have the pickle juice on the sideline?
I offered to say, look, you guys
got to get the pickle juice.
That's it. Pickle juice, Pedialyte, great, and then the Gatorade combo. That's
what
deal.
does it.
That knocks it.
Hey, our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day has the Cardinals quarterback Clayton Tune showed you enough to be the backup to Colt McCoy to start this season? Your two choices are on our Twitter page at Roc and Manuch. Yes, he has the poise and ability, or no, he needs more consistency. Those are your two choices. Go to our Twitter page at Roc and Manuch or our X page, whatever you want to call it. We're going to continue calling it Twitter until we're not allowed. But right now, it's at Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Coming up, we are going to talk some Cardinal football as we will have Craig Fouey in about 15 minutes, but we'll recap what we saw on Saturday. There's some numbers at you and kind of talk about what is ahead as Minnesota is up next for the Cards. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from Casino, Arizona.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the Guys, live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is a casual sports bar and grill with something for everyone. Visit us today at 8880 East Via Linda, Tavern Grill in Scottsdale.
The people of Arizona have voted, and the results are official. Lerner & Rowe has won again, being voted best personal injury law firm 8 years in a row. We'd like to thank everyone who voted, making Lerner & Rowe the people's choice for personal injury. What makes us so popular? We've helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. We're recovering more money for more people than any other law firm in Arizona. Call us today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Looking for a change in your career? All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings now available in customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278.
Watch, win, wager. It's the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona's Pro Football Kickoff Party, Thursday, September 7th, hosted by Roc and Manuch. Win cash prizes and a chance of taking home a 75-inch smart TV. Plus, drink specials like $4 domestics and $5 house wines, all while watching the Detroit and Kansas City game. Don't miss the Watch, Win, Wager Kickoff Party in the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona. Doors open at 5. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction, like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Check this out. Buy Disney and Pixar's Elemental, now on digital.
Welcome. Okay, so the office number, not the cell.
Be the first to watch Elemental.
Okay, you got it.
Sounds like a challenge. And fire up your movie collection. It's gonna be big! With bonus features available for the first time at home, including the Carl's Date short. Fun, right? And deleted scenes. So cool! Disney and Pixar's Elemental. Buy it now, only on digital. Rated PG. Bonus features not rated.
Fire! Get back here! Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone!
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for?
And then we're
Bruce?
coming back with the CAZ
Smart
rejoin.
bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in.
You guys are hot.
Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B with you. As the Cardinals got blown out on Saturday to the Kansas City Chiefs at State Farm. They're heading to Minnesota, get practice during the week with the Vikings, and then they'll play their last game, the third preseason game, before they get a week off before the season starts at Washington. So Cardinals getting geared up. Of course, a lot of conversation is about the quarterback position. Who's going to be the backup to Colt McCoy? I think Colt McCoy is serviceable. He's someone just going to put in there and see what he can do. Hopefully he stays healthy, and he can just at least make these games somewhat competitive. Because this could be one of those years where they're getting blown out every week.
Yeah,
just because they just don't have the depth.
Yeah, just last through it, and you're right, Rock. I mean, it was very noticeable against this Chiefs team, and just lack of depth, especially in that second half. And you can't put you only put 3 points on the board against their second, third teamers. Just goes to really drop off. And the one thing area is just a lack of running game against a good team in that first half. A very stout defense with the Chiefs, only averaging like 3.5 yards per carry, but to kind of blow the doors off of in the second half with the second, third teamers just shows you how far this team has to go get the talent on the team. And then in reference to watching the first team offense, didn't really show a lot of dink and dunk by Colt McCoy. Really haven't seen this team stretch the field with any of their top-notch receivers. Rondale Moore, a couple of crossing routes. Dortch come across on a 10-yard route, crossing route. A lot of crossing routes per se. Nothing really going down the field. If anybody, David Blau seems to be the only guy that really gets the ball down the field. He's kind of he understands this scene. I think a lot of that is lack of experience from Clayton Toombs. We talk about who's going to be the backup to the backup, and it's kind of where we're at right now, folks, until Kyler Murray gets back into the fold. But the one thing I look at for this team overall is if you got certain situations you had last week where you did a good job, third down conversions. Hell, they're only 3 of 13 this week, and you give up over 50-some% on third down conversions. And I think the mobility of the Patrick Mahomes is one thing, but the things I see defensively, and more importantly, the whole Isaiah Simmons experiment, I'm sorry, folks, it's not working with him at safety, out of position twice, out of coverage position twice. I know Shoffley, the quarterback, going scrambling left. I know he's looking to probably go out of bounds, cuts back inside. He kind of olays him as he goes by. And then his lack of aggressiveness. Folks, he's a will linebacker, a weak outside linebacker. That's where he needs to be. Otherwise, I feel right now, guys, this team is stuck with Isaiah Simmons. Not that they're going to cut him, but they're stuck with him and really nowhere for him to go.
Manuch, how many seasons now have you been screaming for Isaiah Simmons to play that outside linebacker role?
This is year number 5. Year number 5.
Let me ask you, why is that? Because it seems as though there are not a lot of other talking heads and guys that played the game like you are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But for some reason, these coaches, and there's different coaches every year, it seems like they can't find the right spot for this guy.
I think a couple things is when you look at the from this Cardinals as far as their depth chart and all the things are concerned, is I think that he's getting beat out. Otherwise, the kid's a hell of an athlete. We know that.
Yeah.
He's long.
Yeah.
Maybe don't feel he's aggressive enough coming up against the run. They can't cover. Can't cover slot guys. Has a hard time with tight
ends. Yep.
He's just kind of one of those hybrid athletes that really is not good enough at those two positions. And I think it would be hard for them when they put him at backup at safety. Maybe put him at backup at will side linebacker, the weak side linebacker, but that's his position. So what I noticed, to answer your question, Rock, is he's not really good against the run. He's fast. He's quick. He's more of a true edge guy that can come in off of as far as rushing the quarterback. But otherwise, you got to be a good run stopper. You got to be a guy that can hold pressure, can set the edge on the outside, but he's also very easily blocked as well, too.
All right, so then on third down situations and the opposition has more than 5 yards to go to make that first down, so it's pretty much a passing situation. Do you throw him in at the edge opposite of Zaven Collins and just say, hey, go after the QB or not?
You know what? I think they're going to have to get more creative because he's not doing any good, I feel, in my opinion, in the secondary. I really don't. Unless he comes up on a slot corner. You saw twice. I don't know if it was blown coverage. If it's blown coverage, why is he not in position? And then as far as man-to-man coverage, you just can't cover. Okay, let's just face it. You just can't cover. And if I can hear Jonathan Gannon's comments yesterday in reference to talking about Isaiah Simmons, I think we're very guarded. We're very, okay, I'm protecting my guy. Instead of saying we have some issues there versus, hey, we're going to put him in some better positions. We're working on it. It was very, very –
it was very vanilla.
Yeah. Very surfaceable to the point where we got some issues here.
Yeah.
And I think that they do. But he's an outstanding athlete. So I think right now, I'm watching that game, that they're got to make some changes. And to answer your question, Rock, as far as that will linebacker.
You already did.
Well, Ojulari's obviously the rookie.
I didn't ask about the linebacker.
Yeah, the outside linebacker, the will linebacker, Ojulari, who's
right.
Seems to be that guy, more aggressive, more physical guy for the kind of defense they want to run.
Well, here's good news. The Cardinals, according to Bob McManaman, have released veteran punter Matt Hack. And they have signed running back Stevie Scott.
Well, obviously,
there you go.
I think a lot of the waiver wire is going to get looked at these next 2 weeks.
Oh, yes.
A lot of lack of talent there. And the good thing about these preseason games is the good, bad, and indifferent will be exposed. And I think another litmus test is the 2 practices in Minnesota this week before they play the game on Saturday night and come across healthy. But guys, I feel there'll be a lot of waiver wire guys picked up for the minimums, for the veteran minimums.
Okay.
And I know for a fact that they're bringing a lot of guys and haven't looked at guys from the XFL, USFL are coming through the Cardinals complex as far as getting looked at to at least have some kind of talent pool or backup pool as the season goes on. Just a long way to go. And you see this Chiefs organization, they are buttoned up. They're dialed in. They got talent. They got speed.
Yep.
They are aggressive up front. And then to see the huge drop-off of this Cardinals team, even in that first half, as far as trying to stay with it.
I can reference this, and that is I watched a couple of the games over the weekend, at least the first quarters, because most teams played their starters. And the starters on the teams that I happened to sample were all way better than the starters on the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, and there's a lot to that because it's just, and when you talk about rebuild, Monty Austin Fort sees what's going on or not going on.
Yeah.
And a couple times they showed him up there
3 minutes
in the box. You can see the frustration in his face about guys, not so much, I'm not going to say talented, you guys, but just being out of position. Here you are 4 weeks into training camp. I know it's a second game. And Andy Reid threw some motion stuff and some other odds and ends. And it just seems though.
You ran a jet sweep.
Hey,
Andy Reid did.
Well, remember, Andy likes to get ready for preseason.
He does.
For the season,
You're
too.
right.
He wants to come out
Yep.
guns ablaze. He doesn't want to just save anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't mind running a few things. And, hey, Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, he's bringing stunts. And
He's blitz, yeah.
I mean, hey, if I'm John Gannon.
That's why you play the games, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it, yeah.
If I'm John Gannon,
2
thank
minutes.
you for doing that.
Yeah.
So my guys can adjust and read, and especially with Tune at quarterback, they threw a couple things at him that he took off because he didn't step up and didn't quite see what the coverage was, and he got couple first downs. Those are some things you looked at.
I was going to say, you mentioned the Chiefs and Cardinals comparing starters, and why the Chiefs have done so well, I thought, is how they've been drafting the last couple of years. They're starting corners, 2 7th-round picks and a 4th-round pick the last 2 years.
Wow.
So back to Rudy's point about Steve Keim, sort of blame in the last couple of years, the last 5 years, when it comes to drafting and establishing these players.
Isaiah Simmons, first-round draft choice, classic case. He's kind of been out there on, all dressed up, nowhere to go. And then you got Zaven Collins, who I felt is finally at that left defensive end, stand up, sit down, whatever you want to call it. To me, is probably at home with the position. Doesn't have to think a lot. He
1
can
minute,
read, he can
1 minute.
react. He's a good run enforcement guy. He sealed the edge a couple times, I thought, on some of the sweeps and the kickout blocks that he was getting. I think he'll be fine there at that defensive end position. So, right now it's very noticeable how far this team has to go as far as building and moving forward.
But how long is it going to take for him to learn that position, though? He just went the whole camp and spring ball learning safety, and it's not working out.
Well, he does know that he knows the inside backer position he's not suited for. He does know the will linebacker position, which he's not suited for. So I don't know where the hell you play.
I was just going to say, where's he going to play that?
He's
special teams. That's it.
He's just kind of, you talk about Steve Keim, one of those picks that just did not work out. And for this kid is, I don't know where he's going to go. So how much he plays against Minnesota to make sure he understands what's going on. I think he would play at least a half.
Okay.
Because you got 2 weeks to get ready for that Commanders game. And at that point, we'll see what happens from there.
Hey, we are going to catch up with Craig Fouie next from ABC 15, but we do want to remind you tomorrow is Tuesday, and that means we are at a Barrio Queen. There's 7 of them throughout the valley, and we are going to be out at the Tempe location to celebrate El Bandino Yankee Tequila Tuesday. We'll be there from 1 to 4. We encourage you to stop by, have some incredible, authentic Mexican food, and try the new El Bandino Yankee Tequila. And make sure you tune in at 2:15 for your chance to win a $25 gift card from Barrio Queen as part of our contest we do with the owner, former Packer, Jim Morris. So that's all coming up tomorrow from the Barrio Queen in Tempe. Craig Fouie, Factor Fouie's next. This is Fox Sports 910.
At 21 rebounds, while Eric Gordon led the squad with 27 points as Team Bahamas got a win against Argentina in the pre-Olympic qualifying tournament. Diamondbacks reliever Joe Mantiply replaced Slade Ciccone as the starting pitcher of record for tonight's series opener with the Rangers. The Cardinals are making an administrative addition to the franchise with the hiring of Jeremy Walls as COO. Practice was held at their indoor facility to prepare for Saturday's preseason closer with the Vikings, and the Mercury's losing streak is now 3 after yesterday's setback to Indiana. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of Game Day.
If you have the first overall pick, make sure you select Twin Peaks for your fantasy football draft party. Stay cool under pressure with 29 draft beers, bites for the whole team, plus a $50 bonus card for the commish and an additional $5 bonus card for every drafter. Visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft for more info.
At Lerner and Rowe, we don't have empty slogans or make empty promises. What we do have is a history of proven results. In a wreck, need a check? We've collected billions of dollars for our clients, with over $1 billion recovered in the past 5 years alone. Make one call, that's all. And we have a team of legal professionals standing by, waiting to begin working on your case the moment you call. Call Lerner and Rowe today. Find out why we've been voted best law firm in Arizona for the past 8 years in a row.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Fall is here, and Roc and Manuch are hosting the Watch Win Wager Kickoff Party in the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona, Thursday, September 7th. Cash prizes all game, plus a chance to take home a 75-inch smart TV. It's the Watch Win Wager Kickoff Party, Thursday, September 7th at Casino, Arizona.
Hi, this is Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. We started in 1998 with our original store in Tempe. Fast forward to 2023 with 6 stores across the valley. We've had a lot of fun along the way, including our pizza eating challenge and our appearance on the show Breaking Bad. Thank you to our employees and customers for 25 fantastic years. We have never changed our core ingredients or recipes, and every pizza is made by hand. I'm a proud 1998 ASU alum and the official pizza partner of ASU Athletics. Learn more about our story at venezias.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys...
All right, we got Fooey on the line.
And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Duke's Sports Grill on Miller and McDowell.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Don't just drink at Duke's, play at Duke's.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Pool, shuffleboard, darts, karaoke, and trivia nights.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Named one of the New Times best bars in town.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Daily food specials.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Where Duke's, Miller and McDowell.
Yep, got Fooey.
DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook.
Then we're on in about 10 with the Factor
Fooey
Fooey.
Action, including same-game parlays, props, live betting, and so much more. Use code SPORTS when you sign up on the DraftKings Sportsbook app to check it out.
It's time for Fact or Fooey with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fooey. Fooey joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes.
You guys are hot.
Now here's ABC 15's Craig Fooey.
That's right, the sports director from ABC 15, KNXV, joins us now on the Right Twitter guest line, as he does each and every Monday. Even if it's his day off, he is on with us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. How we doing, Fooey?
I am good. Got a chance to watch the Cardinals practice this morning, hear from Coach Gannon, so it always starts off a good week when you get to be out at some football practice.
Is it any better than what we saw on Saturday?
Well, it was just shells, kind of walk through stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was better.
Okay, good.
And
So they didn't lose.
Isn't that what they did on Saturday night? Shells just kind of walk through stuff?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I think we saw Saturday night what a Super Bowl champion team looks like.
Yeah.
And it's not the team in red and white.
Yeah.
So, it's those Chiefs are just rolling.
And we saw a team that may win 3 games this year, too, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
All right, that kind of segues into our first question for Factor Philly with ABC 15's Craig Philly. All right, the Cards 38-10 preseason loss to those Chiefs showed just that they are definitely a team in a rebuilding mode. Factor Philly, rebuilding mode.
Well, I'm going to say a fact with an asterisk by it because we've known this for months. We've known this, right? You look at the roster and what do they do in the offseason? Nothing for the roster, really. Got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. They just haven't done much through free agency that just sort of raised the flag going, man, this team's all in. Paris Johnson Jr. starting at right tackle, that's a nice draft pick, right? He's looking good so far, but we know this team is in rebuild mode. I know Jonathan Gannon says I shudder at the thought of I don't like that word rebuild, but it is what it is, right? They're not a good football team. We saw that Saturday; it was put on display, but it's not something we didn't know coming in. It was funny. I had somebody talk to me before the game Saturday out at the stadium, and they said, "Hey, I'm starting to put together a story on the Cardinals might start 3-0. What do you think?" And I said, "I think you're crazy." Is what I think. Right? It ain't going to happen. They're not starting 3-0. Maybe 0-3.
Coach, question number 2, and speaking of that, the Cardinals' lack of depth reared its ugly head in the second half, allowing the Chiefs' backups to outscore them 21-3. Fact or phooey?
Well, I'm going to say phooey on that because I think we saw it early when the Chiefs' second-team offense drove down the field against the first-team defense of the Cardinals. So I don't think we had to wait that long to see that. The second unit of the Chiefs outmanned the Cardinals' first-unit defense. So this is going to be a long season, guys. Just strap in and get ready for it.
All right, Coach, here we go. And remember, Manuch writes the questions.
Boy.
Yeah, the Cardinals are stuck with Isaiah Simmons for now. He's out of position and getting.
Well, I'm going to say fact, but I got to give a little credit to all this to the Cardinals staff over the last few years because he's never known what his position is here, right?
Yeah,
I mean, when he got here, they put him at inside linebacker, and even in training camp as a rookie, they had him playing inside linebacker, then work out with the corners, then work out with the safeties, then go back to the outside linebackers. I mean, this kid's head is swimming. There's no question he's a incredible athlete. He can run. He's huge. He's an impressive figure when you stand next to the guy. But I just think he's been confused from the get-go as to what is my role. Now he's got a whole new coaching staff with a whole new defensive scheme. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a break because he's a tremendous athlete, but he's just not settled in yet.
And Coach, is B.J. Ojulari, who's looking right now, he's penciling that will linebacker that much better? And you wonder why. I know he's more physical of a kid, little, but I just with the experience that Isaiah has at the outside backer, we know he can't play inside. I just understand where the miss or disconnect is with this young man.
I don't know, but it's been that way, Nooch, like I said, for a long time, Nooch. I mean, it's just been that thing from the get-go when the Cardinals put him at inside, and then they were practicing him. And, we kept asking, it's like, where is he going to play? Well, we're not sure. He's going to be an inside linebacker, but you're practicing him with safeties. You're practicing him with, So I think it's been a really tough transition for him. But you can see, even on plays when he gets beat, he still has the speed to catch up and try to make plays, but he's just not seeing things the way he should be.
All right, let's get to question 3. ABC 15's Craig Philly. 4. D-backs manager Torey Luvello should be given a huge amount of credit of keeping this D-backs focused during the slump and getting them back to just one game out of the wild card. Fact or Philly?
Absolutely. That's a fact. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, man, this team, we were talking about it last night here, Colin and I on our show. It's like this team was in first place before the All-Star break. Then the wheels fell off in late July, and now look where they're at. I mean, they're right back in the hunt. They've stayed the course. They've got a tough schedule ahead, though. I mean, you look at what they've got coming in: the Rangers for 2, the Reds for 4. Then they're at the Dodgers. Then they go to the Orioles, Orioles at home for 3. They see the Rockies in early September, but it's a rough go here for the D-backs. They got the Cubs at home, the Mets. It ain't going to be an easy walk in to the postseason, but they're back, and that's the exciting thing. So Torey Luvello is a key for me.
All right, last one, Coach. ASU head coach Kenny Dillingham needs to pick his starting quarterback ASAP and start getting his first-team offense in real game mode in 10 days from now. Fact or phooey?
fact, but I think they've already picked him. I think it's going to be Jaden Rashada. I think he's the guy that's got the inside track now, and I think they know that. They're just not telling anybody because you know how paranoid coaches are, right? Yep. They don't want anybody to know who the starter is. They don't want any film. They don't want anybody to see anything or know anything. So paranoia still is number one for coaches. But yeah, I think they're going to go with the freshman, Jaden Rashada, and I think that's going to be a done deal because you just look at him. And I was up at Tonazona a week ago for 3 practices up there with them, and he just got better and better each day. And certainly in the scrimmage on Saturday, from where he started that scrimmage to where he ended it, Jaden Rashada made huge strides.
Let me just follow up with that then, since you were able to watch that. Did Trenton Bourget, the starter last year, game fall off, or is it just a case where you just see so much more out of Rashada?
Yeah, I think that's it, Kenny, or Jimmy. I start talking to you, Kenny, don't you?
Kenny.
Jimmy, I think that's it. It was not that Trenton Bourget is terrible. Like, the guy started 5 games, played in 7 last year. He's got the leadership skills. The players respect him. But when you see Jaden Rashada, 6'4" and the ability to run, and some of the balls he threw up there at Tonazona were just on the money. I mean, tight spirals and deep. And I just don't know that Trenton Bourget has that same arm strength. I know he doesn't. So it's just a matter of you got to go with a young guy. And if you're a new coaching staff, brand new team coming in with not a whole lot of expectations, I think you go with the freshman and let him play and let him earn his stripes.
And Coach, I thought what you guys did with showing a lot of the highlights is that watching him or filming him throw the ball down the field. He had a couple of posts and he threw a couple of fades. I mean, the term juice seems like he got a little more juice. And guys, they love that, see that ball getting stretched down the field, especially Kenny.
They do, and you know this, when you've got an athletic quarterback like that, the players respond to that, right? He's out there giving it all he's got, and he's running, and he can run. He can get outside and scramble, so he's got an arm that won't quit. So I think he's the guy, and I think the players are responding to him.
I'm real curious to get your opinion on what has taken place so far with the Pac-4. And the people that are trying to maneuver to get the ACC to accept Stanford and then also SMU. They're going to leave Cal in the dust, Oregon State and Washington State in the dust. It appears right now that the vote by the ACC, they're already done with that. Do you have any information at all what else their plan could be to try to keep it the Pac-12 and bring in other schools?
Well, I think if I'm on the Titanic with George Kliavkov, I am doing my best. I am doing my best to gather Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, maybe a few other schools, and try to at least get to a Pac-8, if not a Pac-10. And I'm doing there. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, there's money available in the Pac-12 coffers to pay some of the exit fees for some of these Mountain West teams.
Okay.
And so if I'm Kliavkov and we see the bow of the boats going down, we are trying everything we can to reach out to teams and say, look, we can resurrect the Pac-10 at least and get you guys on board and keep Stanford, Cal, Washington.
2 minutes.
Add 4, 5, 6 more teams, and we could be a viable conference. And you guys will make more money in TV revenue than you do. And so let's try. I think that's where they're trying to go. And I think Washington State president and athletic director, Oregon State's president, athletic director, I think Cal's, I think they're trying to do that with Kliavkov to salvage a conference. I think that's where they're leaning.
Is it Kliavkov or is it
Oliver Luck?
Oliver Luck who's doing this, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a big part of it because Oliver Luck clearly has a lot of respect around the country, right? So he's the guy that's going to be out there fronting this whole thing and trying to get guys on board. But they're in desperation mode, make no mistake about it. But I think they're going to try and resurrect the Pac, whatever it ends up being.
Have a good week, Philly. Thank you.
You got it, fellas, anytime.
That's ABC 15's Craig Philly. Fact or Philly.
1 minute,
that.
1
Check
minute.
them out on ABC 15. Free bread at restaurants. Would you believe it actually makes you hungrier?
What?
Yep, we'll tell you about that, as well as we'll recap the from Casino, Arizona with Casey Walsh next as we continue here for the CAZ Sportsbook. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Check this out. This
Clear.
is The Herd. You're excited. I'm excited. With Colin Cowherd.
And so my takeaway on the version of Hard Knocks last night is Aaron is selling a new version of Aaron. and he's selling it to you, and he's selling it to me, and he's selling it to Sala, and he's selling it to America, and he's selling it to his teammates. It's a sanitized presentation of social media.
This is The Herd. Tomorrow at 10. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is the place to be. Tavern Grill is...
I'm coming back with the random census useless facts of the day, right?
Tavern Grill Scottsdale at 8880 East Via Linda.
You hear it now, the lawyer adds, and I'll repeat it in this one. All personal injury attorneys are not the same. Sure, we all claim to do the same things, but that's where the similarities between Lerner & Rowe and all other law firms end. Lerner & Rowe was recently named the second most influential law firm in the country, and we've collected billions of dollars for our clients, with over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. If you want real results after you've been hurt in a car wreck, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to
Hey, I'm coming back with the random useless census facts of the day, right?
Customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider, locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
If you have the first overall pick, make sure you select Twin Peaks for your fantasy football draft party. Stay cool under pressure with 29 draft beers, bites for the whole team, plus a $50 bonus card for the commission and an additional $5 bonus card for every drafter. Visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft for more info.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more straight talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents.
All right, coming back with random facts of the day.
Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
Broadcasting CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in.
You guys are hot.
Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Hey, do you ever try to fill up on free bread at the restaurants, maybe save some money?
Love
you just do. Put me back. Whatever you just did.
You
put
were
it back.
over my.
I haven't touched it since I've been here.
All right.
Just put it right where it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
So even Kevin Rowe.
Softly.
Kevin Rowe reached out to me.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah.
So I heard you blew up on the
the other day last week
at Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So I was pissed off.
You were.
Because this equipment wasn't working. Anyways, get back to the bread. Joke's on you. Some woman on TikTok went viral claiming that free bread and chips are actually a tactic restaurants use to make you spend more. I guess what they found out is simple carbs like that will spike your blood sugar really fast. So in a short term, it makes you hungrier.
Got it. Interesting.
So that's not something I would have thought. You always, I ate all those chips. I don't need that burrito supreme, right? But I guess from what this is saying, according to this useless fact that I have, there you have it.
Hey, if you've dropped all that weight, you look great. So,
but that's from eating carbs. So why would I want to eat?
Yeah, there you go.
More bread.
Hard to resist the bread, but hot bread with the butter and those chips aside, it's so hard to leave that alone. Very disciplined to just leave them alone.
Well, at least according to this report, it makes you hungrier. So
Okay.
anyway, we're out here at the CAZ Sports Book with Casey Walsh, who joins us. And let's start with the UFC fight. I know Jimmy wants to get into that. And book did real well, huh?
Book on Saturday, it was a bloodbath. Got absolutely demolished.
Really?
Whether it was football, baseball, as well as UFC.
Wow.
Everybody in the
I'm
world.
surprised the lights are still on here. I mean, we got here. Our table wasn't ready, so we thought maybe something happened to the book, but that doesn't happen very often, does it? That the book takes a bloodbath.
No, not too often. I mean, this week it was pretty bad. We're on a payment plan right now.
Yeah.
So that's why you guys are here today. But yeah, no, Saturday was bad in everything.
Yeah,
I've noticed a lot more people coming in here since we've been here since 1 o'clock collecting. Right? I mean, because that's one thing that's unique about the sports book. You can get paid cash in your hand, not like all these apps. You just ride that credit, and then they put it in. You never see it. There's something about when you bet somebody and you win and you pay your bets. Like my partner Dan Manucci, he doesn't pay his bets.
Always pay my bets.
Ever.
Always.
He owes me at least 20 hats. I've never got a hat from him. Ever. And he's lost at least 20 bets. Is that fair? Is that fair?
Very fair.
Yeah. So you don't pay your bets?
No, but I make up for it in gift cards to him. just
Oh,
to
my
make sure.
birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So once a year or Christmas. That doesn't count.
You can't be
It doesn't
greedy.
count.
He wants the hat.
But I do want to thank you because my buddy's birthday was last weekend, and I re-gift the Total Wine one that you gave. So that's how that works. No, I'm kidding. But when it comes to the book not having success, that's what us gamblers, degenerates want to hear.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And then after that O'Malley fight, you have 20, 30 people in line wanting to cash tickets. So it makes the atmosphere a lot better, gets people going, wanting to bet more. So, yeah, of course, we want to see people win.
I'm real curious about that fight because that fight was hyped. And O'Malley was the underdog going into that fight, and he knocks the guy out in the second round. And did this place just explode with everybody that was watching because they all took the underdog?
Oh, yeah. Everybody with O'Malley being from here, say we took 100 tickets, 98 of them were on O'Malley.
Wow.
He ranged anywhere from plus 190 up to plus 215.
Woo!
And then people had him a knockout at plus 330 as well.
Wow.
So they were double dipping there on knockouts because they figured if O'Malley won, he was knocking him out.
Yeah.
So they were double dipping on both of that. So it was really, really good for the public.
How'd the book do last night with the Phillies? I'm sure a lot of people were on the Phillies.
Oh, they did wonderful last night on the Phillies. We had people betting 4 figures, 5 figures, Phillies money lines, Phillies run lines.
Is this because it was a short porch there in the Williamsport?
Yeah.
What
I mean,
come on.
They had Zach Wheeler going.
Yeah.
So they just figured, at Williamsport, still trying to make that playoff push. Everybody's on him.
Wow. So let's go back to Saturday with the NFL, specifically the Cardinals and the Chiefs. Cardinals were getting 7.5. Of course, they got blown out. Did you see a lot of action on the Cardinals originally?
We didn't see any action on the Cardinals. Actually,
No.
we saw all Chiefs full game.
Wow.
Minus 7.5, and everybody taking the Chiefs minus 7 in the first half.
Wow.
Just
Dude,
because
we got to get on Sprite.
I know, man.
I took that 7.5. Now I took
did.
first half and I took the over,
yeah.
but I did take the 7.5 just because the thought process, at least for us last week, was Jonathan Gannon's going to do everything he can to win because he's the new guy. Whereas Andy Reid doesn't really care if he wins a preseason game, but a win for Jonathan Gannon goes a lot farther than a win for
Especially
Reid.
against the world champs in a preseason, which means
3
nothing,
minutes.
But for team, it was about team morale and camaraderie. But I mean that second half blowout. I mean, basically a blowout with 21-3 outscored the Cardinals
in the second half.
I would like to see what the Chiefs fans on that second half would have looked like.
Yeah.
And it showed you how much the talent dropped off of the second, third teamers for the Cardinals.
Yeah, for sure. And then like with that, another thing why you had a lot of people on the Chiefs first half was due to Mahomes and them playing, saying they were going to play first quarter, first half. Everybody just assuming that they were just going to throw all over the Cardinals.
Not to mention, if you were here getting ready to place the bet and you see the pregame talk with Mahomes, you see how animated he got.
Yep.
He's kind of getting in
in his team's grill to get pumped up for a preseason game. That's when I should have piled the money in. I was too late to that. I was too late to that one.
I've got a question because tonight is a Monday night preseason game. It is Baltimore and Washington. Baltimore has this ridiculous streak of 23 in a row.
24-0.
24-0 that they have won preseason
2
games.
minutes.
Washington players have come out and said they're not going to beat us. We're going to snap that streak. I've never seen anything like that for a preseason game. So with that taking place, is there heavy action on that game tonight?
Yeah, so far everybody's all over the Ravens money line just because they just continue to win. But if you look at the point spread, the Commanders were actually +3.
Okay.
And now that game's down to 1.
Okay.
So it's definitely been people are taking the points with the Commanders, but most of your recreational bettors are coming in and just straight firing money lines on the Ravens.
Yeah, -1s on the Ravens and 37.5 over under.
Yeah.
It could be one of those, how would you call it?
Slobber knocker?
Yeah, slobber knocker, intense game because the Commanders want to show you're coming to our place. We're not going to let you go 25-0 on us. I love it.
Yeah.
Whatever motivates you for a preseason game, right?
Hey, Case, when do you expect a lot of action on college? Because we are a week away.
Well, this week we only
1
have,
minute,
I think it's like
1
7
minute.
or 8 games, so we've actually seen some action come in already.
Ohio, San Diego State. Let's go Bobcats.
Yeah, a lot of it's been on total so far, but we'll start to see a lot of it next week, especially with teasers and stuff like that, and a full slate of college
This
football.
Saturday's really the first Saturday to start betting college football.
0 week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 0
Can't wait.
Notre Dame, let's go.
Yep.
Casey Walsh here from the CAZ Sportsbook. He joins us each and every Monday. He also joins the guys on Saturdays.
30
the points.
Real
Go
quick. I got to defend my boy Jackson over here. There's nothing wrong with doing a fantasy football draft at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night.
Oh, whatever.
Come on, boys. That's when everybody's
Hour number 3 is coming up. Rudy Carpenter and Frank Sanders here on Fox Sports 910.
Here, and so are the Chevy offers. See your Valley Chevy dealers today during the Chevy Summer Drive and find your new car, truck, crossover, or SUV or certified pre-owned vehicle today. Summer is hot, and so are the deals going on now at your Valley Chevy dealers. Don't miss the savings happening now during the Chevy Summer Drive. See your Valley Chevy dealers for the best deals and the selection today.
Football on Monday nights continue this season live from the Sportsbook in CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona with Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and the rest of the Fox Sports 910 team. Win your share of the cash prizes through our progressive kickoff jackpot contest, quarter squares, football bingo, and propositions contests. It's year 23. Doors open at 3. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's Monday night tailgate party at Casino, Arizona.
The NFL is back, and your free iHeartRadio app is your home for the NFL Podcast Network with full coverage of all 32 NFL teams. Get in-depth analysis from the pros on around the NFL. Win bragging rights in this year's draft with tips from the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and more. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Check this out.
Buy Disney and Pixar's Elemental, now on digital.
Welcome to Element City.
Be the first to watch Elemental at home. Sounds like a challenge. And fire up your movie collection. It's going to be big. With bonus features available for the first time at home, including the Carl's Date short. Fun, right? And deleted scenes.
So cool.
Disney and Pixar's Elemental. Buy it now, only on digital. Rated PG. Bonus features not rated.
Fire!
Get back here.
Attention homeowners, get Choice Home Warranty's award-winning service for 25 major systems and appliances before a breakdown. Call 1-844-674-5972 for a free quote. That's 1-844-674-5972. Limitations apply. Visit choicehomewarranty.com for details.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions.
Attention, anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, or other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-992-7317. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48
$48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes, and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-992-7317 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, or other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-992-7317. 800-992-7317. 800-992-7317.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Tomorrow from 10 to 1. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Cardinals have signed running back Stevie Scott. They released punter Matt Hawk and waived injured outside linebacker Latavius Simmons. The Cardinals made an administrative addition to the franchise with the hiring of Jeremy Walls as chief operating officer. Practice was held at their indoor facility to get set for Saturday's preseason closer against the Vikings. Diamondbacks reliever Joe Mantiply replaced Slade Ciccone as the starting pitcher of record in tonight's series opener with the Rangers. And the Mercury have dropped 3 straight after yesterday's loss to Indiana. Brittany Griner missed her second straight game due to the protocols. Clarity on Fox Sports and available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Look for cloudy skies tonight with temperatures in the low 80s and a 30% chance for rain. And then tomorrow, cloudy with a high of 103. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Anita Roman.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Beefy Crunch Burrito is back at Taco Bell, thanks to rewards members who voted for it on the Taco Bell app. Filled with seasoned beef.
All right, we're coming back with CAZ Top Stories.
Beefy as it sounds, and as delicious as a vote winner should be. Get one today at participating Taco Bell locations while supplies last.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
D-backs are back home following a successful road trip in San Diego as they took a doubleheader on Saturday. Didn't play yesterday because of the hurricane there in California. Cardinals, they gave up 500 yards of offense in their 38-10 loss to the Chiefs on Saturday night. And Team USA has completed its pre-World Cup basketball tour undefeated. Shocker. I wish they'd let the college kids
The game
play.
against Germany was really entertaining.
They were down by 16.
Yeah.
They had to come back and win that bad boy.
Would you have a problem if they let the college kids play in this?
Well, yeah, because they'd get beat.
They get smoked by the European.
You're playing. The guys that when they were playing Germany, I mean, they had
Those are pros.
Dennis Schroeder was on that team.
But what's interesting about this tournament?
Yeah,
you play this year to qualify to play next year, so you got to wait until next summer, right?
Right. Yeah.
Sure. Whatever. I have no interest in this at all. I think it's such a waste of time.
It'd be such a mismatch for our college kids to play these teams right now. They get smoked.
Yes.
They get
kind of
smoked.
like the 80 Olympics in hockey.
Well, that's rare. That's a very few and far between.
I'm
That's
just
very few.
saying. What is the number one event of all time? That is.
Okay.
Hands down.
Okay. That's 1 in a million. Every once in a while.
Not 1 in a million. I mean, there's other sports where they're not professionals.
United States had stud players just a few years ago. Then they got beat in basketball.
Well, what
in
happened
this tournament?
Do you lose any sleep? If we had our kids going out there,
Yeah.
instead of these athletes that make billions of dollars and get paid to do this too, put our collegiate kids in there,
Yeah.
give them an opportunity to play more basketball, get the top guys from Kansas and Illinois and everywhere,
Right.
have them play.
Yeah.
And and who knows? Maybe they would have some success.
It's a pride.
And if they don't, were you gonna lose any sleep if you're losing this tournament? It's not the Olympics.
Brock, it's competition. You don't want to lose to a foreign country. You want to win.
Win.
Your country wants to win,
Yeah.
man. And Jerry
Whatever.
Colangelo got a hold of USA basketball because of all the young kids playing. He got tired of losing world championships and the Olympics. Said we need to bring the big boys back, and we want to win. You want to just show up, get a participation trophy. You want to win the gold. You want to win the championship. I mean, I'm like, hey, get the best of it. They got their best of the best in that country. Get our best, the best.
They're
And
not
all
even-
the last
we're not
FIBA,
even
the last
doing our best.
FIBA Olympic
Yeah.
championship. Who won it?
The FIFA
Yeah,
championship.
no, the FIBA, FIBA.
Oh, it was not Germany.
Argentina.
No.
See, that's my point.
Well,
does it really matter?
Well-
You guys can't tell me who won, and it wasn't USA.
No, it wasn't. How long ago was that?
I have no idea. That's why no one
It was
cares.
probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Problem is,
But still, if it's that big a deal,
No, it's not the point. The
What's
point
the
is
point?
to win.
Okay, but they're not winning.
What do you
they're
mean?
winning?
What do you mean? They
You just said you couldn't tell me who won 4 years ago.
Well,
yeah, they got
beat.
I can tell you when the Olympic gold. I mean,
Might
we know
have
that.
been Greece
Yeah.
who beat them with Giannis and his brother.
The point of this is it's not that big a deal, this type of tournament. I'm not talking Olympics. I'm talking
I
about this
understand.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
care what
just-
tournament it is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't care what it
it's
is, man.
the freaking
We're-
Home Depot,
So what?
whatever.
It's their best versus our best. That's how it should be.
Why not get our best at the college level? That's all I'm saying.
We don't even have our best guys there.
I know.
And we won.
Okay, that's my point. If you're not even having your top guys aren't really playing.
No,
they could go in there and they would
but
clean up and
but
win
they're
by
all,
like 50.
But they are all young NBA stars. Anthony Edwards.
Eric
went for
Gordon is
34.
not just a puppy.
Well, no, he's playing for the Bahamas.
Okay,
He's
doesn't
not on
matter,
the
but he's
USA
still an
team.
NBA player that's playing for.
Well, yeah, DeAndre Ayton is playing
that
for the
team too.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
Mikel Bridges is playing for the U.S. Cam
Yeah.
Johnson playing for the U.S.
Yes.
Some of the top teams in the
Yeah.
NBA.
Austin Reeves from
Austin
the
Reeves.
Lakers. Yeah, I
Those-
mean, all these
hey,
young guys are there.
If you're going to give your best the best, we'll play your best the
Bobby Portis from Milwaukee's
Yep.
playing there. Yeah.
best. I mean, the college kids they would get schooled by those pros.
They
over
would.
there.
Hey, Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines have self-imposed a 3-game suspension. What are you laughing at?
You.
I think it's
You.
I'll continue arguing with you. I would rather the
that's all
college
right.
kids play.
What, you
And
weren't
what
watching?
if the college kids do play? Oh, I'd definitely play. I don't get to see enough of these college kids because they're one and done anyway.
Okay.
So why don't you take the top guys that maybe got drafted and use those guys?
Right, we're
Use all of them.
You're. I think the reason we're laughing is we are very. I want to have. The
I'm as
best of that.
patriotic as the next guy.
I get it.
I am
But at the end of the
patriotic.
day,
That's
you
why I
could,
want to win.
if this is such a big tournament, you could have told me who won it 4 years ago. That's my
That's not
point.
the point.
We're not going to remember who won a year
That's
ago.
all right. Is if our best of our best. gotta
Why
be
can't
the
it be
best-
our best or our best of college kids that are not?
World Championships. That's
How
why-
long ago was
That's
that?
why Jerry Colangelo got involved.
That was-
Enough's enough.
That was in
30
the
plus
80s.
years
Yeah,
ago.
and guess
Yep.
we got finally
And don't you think some of these collegiate kids that are coming out are starting year one now?
okay.
So,
they-
I
but
mean,
they
there's
can't
some
handle-
really good studs out
okay,
there.
but they get schooled. It's been proven they get schooled when it gets to the Olympics. It gets to these World Championships by the other team's pros. Those kids from Germany.
But my point is,
Argentina,
okay, the pros in Germany, but I'm saying no NBA player, in my opinion, no guy that's been in the league more than a year or two should be able to play. And any of those, like DeAndre wouldn't play for Bahamas, or Gordon would play around, and just use the college kids for United States.
they don't want their nations to have the college because they want to win for their country. Why DA and Eric Gordon go to the Bahamas? They want to win for their country. They don't want their college guys, whoever college guys they have in Bahamas.
Patriotic to their country.
Exactly. USA the same way.
Yep.
Bridges and Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
They got signed up from the get-go. They want
They
to come.
were in.
They want to because they don't want to see a bunch of college kids go over to where in this tournament and get schooled. They're going, wait a second.
Yeah.
This is
Because what you'd be on the radio going, God, did you see the USA? Now they're losing everything in basketball.
but-
Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm
disagree.
watching.
I totally disagree. And the thing that kind of gets me kind of so I'm half Ukrainian, half Italian. So
Okay.
I'd go play for either one of those two.
Yeah,
is
you
what you're
could.
saying.
Yeah.
So Eric Gordon was born in Indianapolis.
Yes.
Just because his parents are from Bahamas.
Bahamas.
So all of a sudden
Yeah.
he's representing Bahamas.
Same.
Come on.
Same with DA.
He was born there, came over here at an early age.
Well, at least he was born there.
Yeah.
Freaking Eric Gordon was Mr. Indiana.
Hey,
I mean,
let me tell you what.
Yeah, okay.
The Bahamas are
So you're going to tell me that if he wins it all,
Yeah.
if Bahamas wins it all, he's going to be sporting the flag over his
Sure.
chest. He's a diehard Bahamas guy.
Absolutely.
Come on, guys.
I am the same. I'm a half Italian, half Bohunk, if you will. I'm
A what?
Czechoslovakian.
Okay.
Yeah, they call
So
it Bohunk.
you go play for them.
No, I can play for you.
Well, that's what these guys are doing.
Yeah, but they've got lineage. They got lineage.
Yeah,
where
so do I. My mom was born in Germany, Ukrainian. She's Ukrainian. So just because my mom or my dad is from somewhere, then I'm going to go play for that country.
Well, that blood is in you.
If you wanted to.
If you wanted to,
it's in
you
your
could.
blood, but
Yeah.
come on.
If you want to
You're born and raised,
look at Manu Ginobili, Argentinian. He plays here. He goes back and plays for Argentina.
Exactly.
One of
But
the
he
best-
was from there and lived there.
I get it.
Eric Gordon was born and raised in Indianapolis.
But he's got a once removed. He got parents that are from the Bahamas.
But he could play. But he could also play for Team USA.
if you wanted
If
to.
he wanted, or he could play for Bahamas.
Absolutely. He's gonna go. He's gonna go help
And
out
the USA
Team Bahamas.
didn't offer him a opportunity to play, so he opted to go play for
The
the
whole
Bahamas.
thing is
34.
you want the
Give a younger kid an opportunity.
Well, that's why they're playing. That's the younger kids are playing right now.
Eric's
for
the one who's
USA.
playing. He's 34.
No, he's playing for the Bahamas. For the USA team, they are all young stud pro players, every one of them.
And look at some of those European teams, young stud pro players.
That's correct.
That are playing against our pros. College
How
guys
much
would
more
get crushed.
rewarding would it be if our U.S. college kids
I want to see it.
have
Don't want to see
some
it.
success,
Don't want to see it.
get a big-time coach in there,
We-
and all of a sudden they start cleaning up and beating the pros?
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Because come
We've
on,
been
you guys
down that road.
cannot disagree with me that one of the best times in our history in sports and patriotism was the '80 Olympic
Yes.
hockey team.
Well-
There were a bunch of college kids
Yes.
beating pros.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was an
Why can't we?
anomaly.
Okay, we'd love to see that again, wouldn't we?
We
It
would,
happens
we,
in other
would, we would
sports.
love to,
Rock,
but,
we tried.
but the way
They kept
yes,
losing.
the way the basketball has evolved, it is truly an international game. Look at all of the European players that are stars now in the NBA. I mean, there's a lot of them everywhere.
And they go home and tell
And-
they tell the college kids, get the hell out of the way. We're here to represent our country.
Yeah.
And we're going to go play. And guess what? They all want to beat the USA. That's why they go home and play.
Yes.
And want to take on the so-called champs, us. And that's why our guys go and defend that. And I love it for that.
I do too.
So what if, kind of like our women's soccer team, loses
Yeah.
to Bahamas or to Germany or whomever it is?
Okay.
That next
That would
year.
be an anomaly. That'd be an anomaly.
If they lose.
Yeah.
So it's not even a challenge. You know they're going to blow them out, right?
No, they're not
like,
gonna.
well,
No.
you said it'd be an anomaly if they lost.
Yeah. It'd be
But
very
this team
rare.
should not lose.
But you know what?
It should not
in
lose.
the last
But if they
Olympics,
did,
USA got taken to the mat by, I think it was Argentina or Greece, and it was a close game in the final, the gold medal match.
It was.
Just goes to show how much the competition is amongst the world international play
Correct.
of basketball, because so many pros play against each other, and so now the college kids are going there a year, 2,
3
whatever.
minutes.
It'd be varsity versus JV is what it would be as far as basketball is concerned. That would be the lack of skills. Now they don't have the skills, they don't have the experience, they don't have the size, they don't have the manpower, whatever.
The competition level now throughout the rest of the world is off the chart.
Especially
Off the
basketball.
chart. In basketball, yes. Throughout the rest of the world is off the chart. And that's why you see so many foreign players having great success in the NBA. Look at Giannis. Look at Luka. I mean, Detlef Shrimp. I can go on with guys that came to the United States and played basketball here, and they were stars, immediate stars. Luka Doncic, immediate star. We all knew it. And that's why people were screaming, and we still get the same comparisons. Well, why didn't you take Doncic and you took DeAndre
2
Ayton
minutes.
instead? The same thing, because the Euros are really, really good now in basketball.
And I guarantee they're not putting their college kids against the U.S. They're putting their
oh
dudes
no,
back.
yeah, they're playing their
Like,
studs.
we want the best. So thank God.
But their top studs play in the NBA.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can say we got some damn good players.
Oh, yeah, the best in the world, hands down.
Exactly right. So that's why you want to.
All I know is the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament is a joke. Come on.
It's competition, Rock.
It's competition.
Yeah.
It's still just a joke.
Kind of sets the tone for the
Oh,
Olympics.
Toad, it's appointment television.
It
let me
was
tell
for
ya.
me.
Oh gosh,
Was for me.
It's just a way to make money. It's all it is. It's a money grab. That's all. That's all this is.
You ask these players about it; they love the competition.
Yes,
they wanna
they do.
win.
They
Ain't
wanna
about a money
win.
grab for them.
Because in the NBA, they only have competition the last 2 minutes of the game, in
will
the
you
playoffs.
stop it?
Oh, you don't agree with that in the NBA?
No.
Early on? Oh, come on.
1 minute.
You've been covering basketball for longer than all of us combined.
I have.
And you're going to tell me that game is competitive on the first tip.
Look, before they even took the hole and made it out of the peach basket, I was doing basketball games. Here's my point. The games begin in the NBA, and as they progress and get closer and closer to the playoffs, and teams are striving to try to make the playoffs, from the beginning whistle to the end of the game,
30?
Those games are truly competitive.
Wow.
I'll grant it that in the early part of the NBA season, yes, they come back in the last 5 minutes.
I gotta agree with you on this one, Rock. I agree with you this one, Rock. Jimmy, yeah, the last 2 or 3 minutes, it finally gets down to competitive.
Maybe we could say 5 minutes.
Whatever. Minutes.
Yeah. 5 minutes to the fourth quarter seems like when the game really gets on.
Not when you hit,
especially with all the load management. If there was so much competition in the NBA, then guys wouldn't be sitting every other game.
Hey, look, I do load management on this show.
We know.
Well, so do I. I'm Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but you do it on Friday. But I just competition my ass. Hey, coming up, Rudy Carpenter will join us. We'll talk to him about the quarterback situation with the Arizona Cardinals. Frank Sanders in 15 minutes. We're out here at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. It's a great place to watch all the games, bet the games, 6 self-service betting kiosks, 3 betting windows. They have 8 screens dedicated to just the lines, and they are the home of the Roc and Manuch Lager, which is brewed by Huss Brewery. In our home for Monday Night Football, and we're having a big kickoff party on September 7th for the Lions and the Chiefs. So we'll have more on that later, but we're excited to get the football season kicked off here at Casino, Arizona. We'll continue. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Before you leave, can I get you to tease
There's your wreck
Frank Sanders?
Valley 101 southbound near Cardinals Way on the right shoulder. A crash with injuries on Cave Creek Road just south of Greenway. Injury wreck on Bell east of 7th Street and one on 7th Avenue in McDowell.
This report is sponsored by...
Whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Hey, Steve.
Steve, how you doing?
Meg!
Meg, nice to see you.
Hey, Meg.
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We know you.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
It's the Chevy Summer Drive. See your Valley Chevy dealers today during the Chevy Summer Drive. Summer's here and so are the Chevy offers. See your Valley Chevy dealers today during the Chevy Summer Drive and find your new car, truck, crossover, or SUV or certified pre-owned vehicle today. Summer is hot and so are the deals going on now at your Valley Chevy dealers. Don't miss the savings happening now during the Chevy Summer Drive. See your Valley Chevy dealers for the best deals and the selection today.
You have the first overall pick. Make sure you select Twin Peaks for your fantasy football draft party. Stay cool under pressure with 29 draft beers, bites for the whole team, plus a $50 bonus card for the commish and an additional $5 bonus card for every drafter. Visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft for more info.
Sun Devil football season is here, and we need you in Mountain America Stadium, wearing gold and cheering on head coach Kenny Dillingham and your Sun Devils to victory. Join Sun Devil Nation this fall with season tickets starting at just $135. The home schedule features games against Oklahoma State and Fresno State, as well as Pac-12 matchups with USC, Colorado, Oregon, and Arizona. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Watch, win, wager. It's the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona's Pro Football Kickoff Party, Thursday, September 7th, hosted by Roc and Manuch. Win cash prizes and a chance of taking home a 75-inch smart TV. Plus, drink specials like $4 domestics and $5 house wines, all while watching the Detroit and Kansas City game. Don't miss the Watch, Win, Wager Kickoff Party in the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona. Doors open at 5. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
This is Protection. Yep, Protection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
Joe Mantiply replaced Slade Ciccone as a D-back starting pitcher of record in tonight's series opener with the Rangers. The Cardinals had practice at their indoor facility to get ready for Saturday's game against the Vikings. Michigan football suspends coach Jim Harbaugh for the first 3 games of the season due to false and misleading information during a 2021 NCAA investigation into possible violations from the COVID-19 recruiting dead period. I'm Frank Garrity.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time, steps up, looks end zone, got a man, touchdown! And Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
A lot of talk on the quarterback situation with the Arizona Cardinals. Colt McCoy right now, the backup. Who's the backup to Colt McCoy? Is it Clayton Tune? Is it David Blau? Jeff Driscoll, we never got to see. We haven't seen. He's been held out with an injury. Joining us now is former NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter. As you just heard the big voiceover guy, and he joins us down on the right to the guest side. How you doing today, Rudy? What's happening? What's going on, Rudy?
All right, so we're not hearing him.
He's probably there.
Yeah.
You want to pretend you're Rudy
You want me
Carpenter?
to do, hey, guys, how are you?
Yeah. Living the dream,
Yeah,
right?
hey,
Yeah.
I'm just having fun here.
Connor, can you talk to us down the line? Let us know what's going on there.
Okay.
I got you, Rudy. There you go. Sorry about that. How you doing, bud?
There he is.
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, man. Sorry about that. So we're connected now. Hey, we were talking about the quarterback situation for the Arizona Cardinals and, watching some of these guys and Clayton Tune, who, he hit half of his passes he connected on, and he was running quite a bit. But then, we saw Colt McCoy, we saw David Blau just for a little bit. But when you look at these two quarterbacks, specifically David Blau and Clayton Tune, where would you give the edge if you needed a backup to Colt McCoy?
Oh man, I don't know. It's really hard to say. I mean, it's even harder for someone like me to give an opinion on this because I know how the business side of this works and I know how the politics side of this works. And those are all things that matter. Clayton Tune is a draft pick of this new general manager and this new head coach. He's a young guy. He's making less money. He hasn't been in the league as long as David Blau. And all of those things matter. Now, if you're probably talking about, who gives me the absolute best chance to win if Colt McCoy does in fact start the season and he gets hurt, I would say probably David Blau might give you a little bit better chance to win. But I mean, ultimately, without sounding like a negative Nancy here, I don't think it matters. This team's not going to win football games even when they have Kyler Murray on the field. So it's really just about, again, do you want to put reps and do you want to put this investment of resources into a guy like David Blau, or do you want to try to put these reps that I would call an investment in the money side, that investment as well, into a guy that you drafted because you feel like at some point down the line he can be a solid number 2 for you. So to me, if I was the organization, I would, adding all of those things up would probably go with Clayton Tune.
And all that being said, Rudy, I hear what you're saying, but not in that locker room, it's going to be hard enough for these guys to win. And I know they're in a rebuilding mode, but if you have, in my opinion, the experienced guy there that's been there, done that, seen it, as hard as it's going to be to win if Colt goes down, you got to make sure if you're that ownership to understand that this as hard as it's going to be to win the games, you got to have a guy that can at least get you in and out of the huddle and get the plays off. I would think that's why I side with David Blau.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you on that, and I think that's all true. But I mean, I would tell you this: without being at practice and without watching the all 22 tape on a daily basis, it seems to me like Clayton's operating decent. It seems to me like he's able to get you in and out of the huddle. It seems to me like he's able to make all of the throws that you need, and even has a little bit of athleticism to him to make a play. You know, I think there's no doubt that David Blau has been there, done that. He started games, I believe, before, or at least played significant minutes. So I think all of that stuff matters. And there's also no doubt that in professional football, you want to try to win. And you know, even if you know you're probably not you got to still put your best team out there to you know, at least appease those guys in the locker room and make them feel like you're doing everything that you can to win, because those guys' career and their future, you know, is on the line too. Look, I guess this is a really bad answer, Dan, but again, what I'm saying is at the end of the day, I just don't think it matters. I think it's 1/2 dozen to the other. David Blau, Clayton Thune. I would even put Colt McCoy in that group. Does it really matter? I think all of those guys, as far as NFL standards go, they're probably all just average guys.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Toyota guest line, the right Toyota guest line. I'm real curious, Rudy. I know it's very vanilla through the course of preseason, and nobody really game plans for anything. But can you surmise what you have seen out of this Arizona Cardinal team, at least in the first 2 preseason games, that would give you hope that they could win 5 or 6 games this season? Or is there no hope?
Well, you never want to say there's no hope, because in the game of football, that ball is shaped funky and it bounces all kinds of crazy ways. And as you guys know, it's the NFL, and anything can happen. You can get a crazy bounce here or there, and all of a sudden, you know, a couple of games look totally different. But to me, when you look at this Arizona roster and you compare it to other rosters in the NFL, to me, what you see is they just don't have an abundance of explosive talent. You don't see the explosiveness on the field. You don't see the speed and the agility. You don't see that on the field in which you see with other teams. You can see the commitment that the Kansas City Chiefs have made to finding explosive talent, even when they got rid of a guy like Tyreek Hill, right? The Rice kid, I think he came from either SMU or Houston, explosive. Pacheco is explosive. Travis Kelce in his own right is explosive. I mean, they have explosive talent. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they have explosive talent. You look at, you know, even the Cincinnati Bengals with their wide receiver core, Jamar Chase and Higgins, and even Mixon in his own way, they have explosive talent. The Arizona Cardinals just don't have that. And I think even the explosive, talented guys that they do have and or they drafted, whether it's their fault or not, have just been a total waste. It's, you know, guys like Isaiah Simmons, right? He bounced all over the place. To me, he was horrible in this last game, and I don't want to blame it all on him, because they've done him a total disservice, you know, in bouncing around and playing him out of position. And look, I don't want to, you know, say negative things about Steve Keim. I think he did a lot of great things when he was here with the Arizona Cardinals. You see him over the last few weeks moving around, going and visiting guys like, you know, Reddick at the Eagles, you know, training camp. And it's like, yeah, great. You know, he's a former first-round pick who's doing well for the Eagles, I guess. But even when you guys had him here in Arizona, you know, you had him bouncing around and playing all out of position as well. So to me, unfortunately, the NFL, you know, the talent matters, and the explosiveness and the speed and the height and the weight and the length of guys and how fast they are, all of that stuff matters. But they have to be able to play fast. And guys usually play fast when they know what they're doing and they're dialed into their position and they know exactly what they're doing mentally on every play. That way they're in a position where they can just read and react, see ball, get ball. And right now, I just think on the defensive side of the ball, the Arizona Cardinals don't have that. And obviously in Kyler Murray, they do. But outside of Kyler Murray on the offensive side, you know, I can't really name a guy that you can point to and just say, wow, he's a really, really, really explosive talent. I mean, I think the guy that scored their only touchdown this week was Greg Dortcher, and I think he was he an undrafted free agent for them? So, you know, when he came out a few years ago. So, you know, to me, this is a talent problem for the most part with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, Rudy, I second the motion on Isaiah Simmons. And I mentioned earlier about the lack of depth was noticeable with this Cardinals team when you watch the depth of the Chiefs. So here they go, Saturday night, the final preseason game against the Vikings. You got 2 weeks after that. Strategically wise, as far as evaluating, getting guys in and out of the huddle and playing and all the above, how would you go about this last preseason game against the Vikings on Saturday night, knowing you got 2 weeks before the real ammo starts to fire?
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost, for every organization, not just the Cardinals, you want to make sure you get out of this last preseason game super healthy. You obviously don't want any of your starters to get hurt, probably not even going to play. And then you don't want your important depth guys to get nicked up or to get hurt at all. So that's the most important thing, you know, is to get out of that game, you know, super healthy with no significant injuries. I think that, you know, the bottom part of this roster, let's just call it, you know, spots 45 to 53. I would even maybe go more than that, which might sound crazy to most people, and say roster spots 40 to 53 and probably all the practice squad guys too. I think as the course of the season moves along, you're probably going to see a lot of those roster spots turn over. Some guys make the active roster initially, end up on practice squad later in the season. Some guys on practice squad get bumped up to the active roster some point during the season. And then I think probably the most important part, you know, for the Arizona Cardinals coming up over the next 2 weeks is going to be what they do on the waiver wire. I would imagine that their scouting department, their pro scouting department, and their GM, Monty Ossenfort, I guarantee you they have a plan in place. They got a bunch of guys circled that they'll be watching play games, guys who they feel are on other teams who may get cut, that they believe they can put in a waiver claim on and hopefully get and acquire some talent, you know, on final cut down date. So to me, I think that's probably the most significant thing that's going to happen, or, you know, the most newsworthy things that are going to happen over the next 2 weeks is number one, obviously, who the Arizona Cardinals cut. Number two, who they can get back on practice squad. And really probably the most important thing is what happens around the rest of the league. What kind of guys get cut? What kind of veteran players get cut that they can bring in here on a waiver claim? They can pay the veteran minimum to, and guys that can, you know, contribute at a high level. One example I would give that, you know, might not make any sense. This is not a shameless plug for my own business, but my agency represents a guy named Chris Lamons. Unfortunately for Chris Lamons, the thing that he's known best for right now is getting into a fight with Alvin Kamara in Las Vegas. But he's a guy that's been a starter for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's been a starter on some very, very good football teams, played in some Super Bowls. Last year he got cut right after the AFC Championship game. But he's a guy that, because of the trouble he got into, signed late with the Indianapolis Colts in training camp because of their situation. They may or may not be able to keep him, but that's a guy who's been a starter as a corner in the NFL. He's been a very good contributor on special teams in the NFL. He's a number two, number three corner who can go in the slot and cover your best slot receiver on any football team in America. I would imagine the Arizona Cardinals are going to be looking for a lot of guys like that, guys that they don't have to make long-term commitments to, guys that can come in and play and contribute right away both on special teams, and on the offensive or defensive side of the ball, and guys who, for NFL standards, are relatively cheap. You don't have to pay them, $3, $4, $5 million a year. You can pay them the rookie minimum and call it, 1.2, 1.3 million bucks.
Rudy, great stuff, man. That's interesting. We appreciate your time today. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Rudy. Appreciate that. Rudy Carpenter joining us. Nice plug for one of his guys. Coming up, Frank Sanders will join us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as we'll talk about the Cardinals preseason loss number 2 as they got blown out by the Chiefs. That's next. We're out here at Casino, Arizona.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Diamondbacks reliever Joe Mantiply replaced Slade Ciccone as the starting pitcher of record in tonight's series opener with the Rangers. The Cardinals made an administrative addition to the franchise with the hiring of Jeremy Walls as chief operating officer. The Cardinals are down to one punter after choosing Nolan Cooney over Matt Hawk, who was waived today. The team also waived offensive lineman
Hey, you guys got me?
Simmons with an injury designation and re-signed running back Stevie Scott. The Mercury's losing streak is 3 after yesterday's setback to the Indiana Fever. Brittany Griner missed her second straight game due to health and safety protocols. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the My Guy Referrals Weather Center. Visit myguy.com for 5-star local referrals. Make My Guy your guy.
Look for cloudy skies tonight with temperatures in the low 80s and a 30%.
I'm coming back with Frank Sanders open and then playing that clip, right?
103. For the Fox and Weather
You got it.
Experts, I'm Anita Roman.
This report is sponsored by Breakmasters.
I was just about to call him.
One place you need to be in control at all times, and Breakmasters takes that seriously. Get your vehicle in Breakmaster shape today. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Breakmasters. We give you an honest break.
Escape the scorching heat and get indoors at Putting World's 18-hole putting experience. Stay cool while mastering the greens and having a blast with family and friends. Visit Putting World today.
We're your neighbors. You should stop by for a visit. We're Casino, Arizona. Come on in. Our slots are spinning, our dealers are dealing, and everyone's yelling bingo. Isn't it about time you see your friends again? So stop by to say hello. Stay a while. Relax. Enjoy yourself. We'd love to see you again. Hey, this place was made to entertain. We're your Casino, Arizona.
Get ready for some football with a new big screen TV from your Valley Chevy dealers. Text Chevy to 59925 and one lucky listener will win a 65-inch smart TV driven by your Valley Chevy dealers. Standard message.
Owner just like you.
Hey.
Decides to fix his roof.
Okay.
He backs up his truck, ties one end of the rope to the
He is
bumper
not
and
picking up.
the other to himself.
Smart.
He's working on the backside of the roof until.
What? Wait, no.
Yes,
Go for it.
Dad was in tow.
Ooh, was he hurt?
A few bruises and his pride.
Save yourself with State 48 Roofing, offering maintenance, repairs, and replacements. Of course, licensed, insured, and bonded. From residential to commercial. State48roofing.com.
If you have the first overall pick, make sure you select Twin Peaks for your fantasy football draft party. Stay cool under pressure with 29 draft beers, bites for the whole team, plus a $50 bonus card for the commish and an additional $5 bonus card for every drafter. Visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft for more info.
Tune in Monday from 1
Gotcha.
to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
A small commitment at least one day a week helps reduce ground level ozone pollution and helps us all breathe easier. Reduce traffic congestion and ozone-causing emissions by teleworking. Visit maricopa.gov/AQ to learn how you can help.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy.
It just said, sorry, your call cannot be completed.
A rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com.
Let's have him try calling again.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Gillette and
with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAC Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise.
You guys are hot.
The Fox Sports 910, live from CAC Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. We hope to catch up with Frank Sanders. This is the time he normally joins us, but we're having a couple little issues here with the lack of water to the mice or hamsters.
Hamsters, yeah.
Mice.
Somebody feed those hamsters, Rock.
Yeah. I remember, you don't know this, Jimmy, but yeah, you do a little bit. Yeah, we were at a station where literally kerosene. I mean, that's what
literally. That's
literally
a true story.
That got us on the air and off the air.
They ran out of kerosene one weekend.
Yeah, one weekend. The station.
We were just wondering who's got kerosene patrol. Literally.
Really?
Yeah, to get a little generator.
Hey, you gotta go down South Mountain. Mountain's over there. That's where the signal is.
Make sure that generator works.
We're not kidding. We're not kidding.
That's
either.
a true story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was not
Well,
good.
you guys have worked some places, that's for sure. Oh, we have. Yeah, we sure have. Yeah.
Anyway, appreciate Rudy Carpenter joining us, talking about the quarterback situation with this Arizona Cardinal team. Clayton Tune, who he hit 50% of his receivers and rushed for a few yards, 35 plus, I think. And he, at least everything I kept seeing in the highlights and what I read, there was a common theme from the guys and gals that cover this team much more deeply than I do, was that when Clayton was in there, the team looked like they were having more fun. It was a little bit more fun. So optics-wise, the team may have performed a little bit better than maybe when Colt McCoy is in there and it's just kind of vanilla. And maybe this coaching staff doesn't want to show your cards yet, say, okay, here we go. But, Clayton Tune's getting the reps. He's the draft pick. He's the guy that they're going to probably keep because they, drafted him.
Yep.
And he's one of this new regime's guys.
Well, they're going to keep 3 QBs. Yeah, they will. But, I mean, when Kyler Murray comes back, who's the odd man out? So when you think about, to Rock's point, okay, he's the 5th-round draft pick. Rudy talked about the politics getting involved. David Blau's a young man that's under the old regime. He's the veteran backup. But we drafted this young kid out of Houston. He's our pick. Colt McCoy's our guy for now. But when Kyler comes back, and if he's healthy, and Colt McCoy, it's going to be Kyler, Colt McCoy, and then who?
There's Jeff Driscoll. Well, I mean, you laugh, but the guy's been in the league for a while, and you talk about Blau, and at least he's got some experience. I mean, you look at with Driscoll, he was the Texans the last few years. Before that, Broncos, Lions, Bengals. He was drafted in the 6th round. He played at Florida and then transferred to Louisiana Tech. I mean, we haven't seen him, but he's definitely got some. He's got a lot of experience of being a backup.
But you would have thought if they were in the Jeff Driscoll camp, he would have gotten some reps.
Well, I believe he's hurt right now. He's hurt right now.
He's hurt. So, with that being
said, he's got a calf injury.
Oh, is that it?
Here's the thing with this whole quarterback situation. You just got to hope that Colt McCoy can stay upright until Kyler Murray's ready. Is that the 2nd game? Is that the 4th game? We don't know. But Colt McCoy, serviceable. He's a guy you can win with. His record's like 3-1, I think, as a starter. That he's a guy that can get this thing in motion, understands what it takes to win as a starting quarterback, and he's got that experience. And then when you have that kind of experience on there, if he goes down, and then they decide to play, Clayton Tune, then it's like, okay, all bets are off because this is a rookie going against real live ammo versus preseason. They'll throw everything at him, plus the kitchen sink, decide performs versus a David Blau that has seen that, understands that. And a lot of it is the anxiousness that you have as a rookie, been there, done that, versus a guy that goes, okay, I got this. I'm comfortable in an uncomfortable position, and being able to make that or get the play off. Which he did several times last year.
So is there a scenario at all that with the practice squad they'll keep 4? Because let's just be honest, Colt McCoy is going to get beat up.
And
this offensive line.
That's why it's important, I feel, guys,
to have as many guys as they can know the system.
Well, now you can dress 3, obviously. Now.
Yeah,
right?
That's the new rule this year.
2 minutes.
Thanks to Brock Purdy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brock.
Who, by the way, played well in his preseason debut.
Sure did. Took him right down the field, 4 for 5, even though they got the field goal out of it.
A couple guys do well. Jimmy Garoppolo had a good game. There are a few guys that did pretty well this past weekend that you haven't seen in a while, like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, you're going to get Aaron Rodgers this coming weekend with the Jets. He's going to play maybe a couple of series.
Jordan Love also did well for Green Bay. You know, listening to the talking heads this morning on ESPN, you would have thought that Jordan Love is the next.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Joe, I don't know what next
Joe
whatever.
Namath?
No, but they just really were high on him.
Yeah.
Because he completed 5 of 8, 84 yards and a touchdown, and they said it wasn't just stats; he just looked well in that part.
He looked the part.
Third year in the league.
Well, right.
Now he's getting an opportunity, right?
Yeah, and I
1
think
minute.
that,
1 minute.
Interesting, guys. I think a lot of guys realize with this 3-game preseason, they got to get their work in. So I think you're seeing more starters want to play. Talk about Aaron Rodgers going to play Saturday.
Right.
He wants to play. They knock the rust off.
Yeah.
Because they know if there's any tweakage or things they got to work on, they got those 2 weeks to get that settled. And I think that's where you miss that extra preseason game is just in case, because these coaches now got to get everybody figured out. Who am I keeping? Who am I not keeping? Who needs the work? Who doesn't need the work? So there's sometimes these coaches are kind of caught between that rock and a hard place to understand, man, I got to make sure this happens or that happens. And that's why I think that the 2 practices against Minnesota by the Cardinals this week is important to see those guys have a little competition and see how they react taking on another team. Literally, I call them quasi scrimmages before they play their preseason game.
Do you miss 4 preseason games, Manuch, because that's when you did your best?
Well, I think I did, and I think a lot of guys.
Yeah, they didn't keep stats.
Yeah,
I know.
Damn it. But I think with coaches, coaches are so anal. You know, Rock, you were around them when they did the several years ago. They want to have everything buttoned down. Should I keep him or shouldn't I? So that last game, that 4th game, was we're going to play you the entire game. We'll play our backups to your backups, or with this guy's got to play or get ready for this or this. So they miss. I think a lot of players and I think a lot of coaches miss that 4th game. So now it compounds it to how do you get guys into a game and see how they react in game-like situations. And guys, for new coaching staffs, this applies to them as well, too. How are they reacting, getting guys in and out? I think you saw some gaffes by the coaching staff the other day, defensively, offensively for the Cardinals. Where you watch the Chiefs, they didn't miss a beat getting personnel in and out of the game from that standpoint. So that 4th game is missed because you can't accomplish or get to things.
It's missed by the coaches.
It is, but
not by the fans.
No, not the fans. Well, the fan, yeah, and the fans should have a discount, quite frankly.
I agree.
But I think for players, even the starters, they like, if they do play, that extra preseason game.
Attempt to wrap.
Just to make sure they get things done.
Remember Blankenship, the kicker?
Oh, the guy with the glasses?
So when he came in the league, he was really good.
Sure
I mean, he was like 80% or 87% field goals, 96% extra points. And then he played for the Cardinals, appeared in a couple games last year, made 2 field goals, 2 or 3. He just got cut from Tampa. So this will now be, and he's been in the league since 2020. He's played for the Colts, Cardinals, Browns, Jaguars, Chargers, Jets, 49ers.
Life of a kicker.
Just keep kicking.
In Tampa. That's how many different teams he's been trying to make it. Oh, the life of a kicker.
Yep.
We'll come back with more Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're out here at Easy Sports Book in Casino, Arizona.
This is The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
The Packers are saying they are excited about this young man, Jordan Love.
If the Packers were all in and realized all that, why'd they give him a 1-year contract and not give him and not lock the guy up? Because they don't know.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Today at 4, tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
There is slow traffic 17 northbound
between the eastbound 10 transition ramp and 16th Street. We have an accident northern near 107th Avenue and a crash 111th Avenue at Indian School Road.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Beefy Crunch Burrito is back at Taco Bell, thanks to rewards members who voted for it on the Taco Bell app. Filled with seasoned beef and flamin' hot Fritos, it's as crunchy and beefy as it sounds, and as delicious as a vote winner should be. Get one today at participating Taco Bell locations while supplies last.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of Game Day.
Brew Day is back at Twin Peaks. Every Wednesday this month, we're celebrating one of our most beloved things, beer. Get to any of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks and score 22-ounce Twin Peaks brew on draft for a special price all day. For a location near you, head to twinpeaksrestaurant.com.
Are you living paycheck to paycheck only to find yourself going backwards financially each month? Nobody wants to file bankruptcy, but at many times, it's the best choice. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and that it will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. In most cases, filing bankruptcy can improve your credit. At Lerner Rowe Law Group, our bankruptcy lawyers only work on bankruptcy cases, and we can file your bankruptcy with $0 down.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977.
No, sir.
Football is here, and Roc and Manuch are hosting the Watch Win Wager Kickoff.
Yeah, thank you.
CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
And then we're also coming back with Lerner and Rowe one call with the D-backs Grand Slam.
Take home a 75-inch smart TV. It's the Watch Win Wager Kickoff Party, Thursday, September 7th at Casino, Arizona.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider. Locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
I'm Byron Brown, the anti-lawyer lawyer. When it comes to your personal injury case, I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call. No BS.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we're realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Diamondbacks lead 4-1. And Moreno coming to bat. Fly ball, left field, Gabriel Moreno has hit a grand slam in Slam Diego. And the Diamondbacks are taking over. It's 8-1. Go, Gabby!
You guys are hot?
That was a no-doubter. That was the Happy Gilmore swing, and he got it. Now leaving Slam Diego, but it's 8-1.
Slam Diego. How about that? Roc and Manuch, CBB finishing up here at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. There's your
3 minutes.
One call, that's all, which is
always provided to you by Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Let's get to our what's on tap. Yeah, what's on tap tonight? You got the Rangers are in town to face the Diamondbacks on the MLB television network and Your View. That game will get started at 6:30. Ravens and Commanders, last preseason game of week 2. It's on ESPN, and that is at 5 o'clock. So there is what's on tap, brought to you by the Roc and Manuch Lager, brewed by Huss Brewery. It's now available in 4 locations, soon to be 5. Tavern Grill in Scottsdale, 88th Street and East Via Linda. Arena Sports Grill, which is on Bell and 62nd Street. Upper Crust, which is Cave Creek Road and the 101 right next to the Costco. And the CAZ Sports Bar right here in Casino, Arizona. So try it for yourself. That's the Roc and Manuch
2
Lager
minutes
by Huss Brewery. Our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day.
You can go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter to still vote. Has Cardinals quarterback Clayton Tune showed you enough to be the backup to Colt McCoy for the start of the season? And your answers are yes, has the ability, or no, needs more consistency. Well, right now, leader in the clubhouse, 57.1% say yes, has the ability, to 42.9% say no, need more consistency. So still go to @Roc and Manuch to put your vote in on the backup quarterback situation of the backup quarterback. See how that plays out.
I think the quarterback situation it's awful.
It is awful.
It is really bad. Colt McCoy in the National Football League at this point, I look at teams that granted, he didn't look good this past week or last Thursday, but when you look at teams that are successful, they have great backups.
Sure, yeah.
You can make a case for the Philadelphia Eagles, bringing in Marcus Mariota, guys like that.
1 minute.
That's
1 minute.
Who was a starter last year in Atlanta.
It's a good get.
Yeah, it was a great get.
Yeah, it's a great
There are a lot of players like that out there.
And I tell you, when your backup's playing, obviously service, lead the team, don't turn the ball over. Allow your
good
defense.
penmanship.
Damn right, man.
Penmanship.
and it helps us to be a hell of a holder.
Good holder, too.
Yeah, good
Damn
holder.
right.
Yeah.
Yep, love the camera.
The more you can do. Know where the cameras are.
Right,
Time
right, former NFL quarterback Dan Manucci.
That's right, man.
Yes. Hey, we'll do it again tomorrow. Barrio Queen in Tempe. This
30.
week, we are also Twin Peaks in Tempe on Thursday. And don't forget, on Saturday, Take the Points, which is here at the CAZ Sportsbook as well. So for Connor back in the iHeartRadio studios, for Jax, Manuch, Jimmy B, I'm Roc.
15.
Great night. We'll see you back